Hello, everyone. We're back. First stream of the year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because we didn't do a prediction stream for Prenuts 2. Welcome back, Laser Sports Academy.
Oof.
I am in a new abode. If you didn't know, I've moved to the Gold Coast, so I don't have my fancy setup with all of my second and third place trophies and my LED strips. So we get a nice white wall, very crisp white wall behind me. Yeah. Prenuts 2 review stream. Today, I'm being joined by Lilbo. How's it going?
Yo, hello.
Yo. Hazmat.
Hey, everybody.
Everybody. And formerly Shazza, now just Shaz.
Oh, the name change is real.
In the big
Amazing.
2025.
Cool. Yeah. So also at my new house in the Gold Coast, I live with other people. And if you do hear other people, I think they're currently watching Revenge of the Sith right now. So if you hear anything, any screaming, sorry, but I don't know. I was gonna go out there and be like, guys, shut up, I'm streaming, because I think that's a cool thing.
Watching Revenge
You gotta
of the Sith.
flex,
I know, it's
dude.
good.
You gotta
That's
flex.
great.
You
Yeah.
gotta say, I'm a famous Twitch streamer.
Excuse me, 20 viewers on the line here. Please.
I
well,
am LSA, dude.
that's 20. Oh, I was going to say 21 to you, but it was just became 20. Anyway, laser tag. So cool. What we're going to do, There was a few things that were different from Pre-Nats 1 to Pre-Nats 2. The two big things being the DMX sliding and the trigger lockout. For the most part, I think the arena was pretty much the same. So we're just going to look at a maze map. We're going to talk a little bit because all of these, I didn't play Pre-Nats 1, but the rest of the guest commentators did. So we'll talk a little bit about like what was different, pros, cons, how it felt. And then we'll go through the teams in order from 14th through to 1st. Let's get right into the news. Cool. Let me share my screen. Boom.
Something very epic about to pop up here. A pen by chance.
No, it's gone. That one's gone. That's gone.
Oh, what?
What? Where's
Well,
Epic
I can
Pen?
still use
Oh,
it.
okay.
Just what I had drawn as a test is not there anymore.
Oh yeah, no.
Okay,
No,
yeah.
Fair.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, fair.
In case you forgot, Pre-Nats Sunny Coast review, and in case you forgot, this is Laser Sports Academy. All right, moving on. Boom. So, I guess the first thing I wanted to ask you guys, you can whoever wants to answer, you can, you all can, but first big thing that was really different from Pre-Nats 1 to Pre-Nats 2 was the DMX sliding. So how do you guys feel that the removal of the DMX sliding, I mean it was still there, but like they weren't changing colors. What impact do you think that made in terms of how the arena played and what teams were doing strategically?
100% necessary that they removed it. I will start off by saying it was like that.
Yeah.
It was the most shit show thing that I could have ever imagined. That Pre-Nats was so brutal. So with DMX sliding and kind of with the 60 MS, but we'll go into that a bit later. Like it definitely promoted more of that like slow pace until you kind of see where you're at or kind of see where the other teams are at, and then it was just crack open halfway through the game and just 30 base game every single game, and it's not really that fun, not really good. So I think definitely with the removal of DMX and the removal of 60 MS, it kind of turned that slow defensive open meta to come back like to the collapse meta back into like that classic Queensland 3-2 like that everyone knows and hates, right? Like I noticed it a lot more that there was not that much more dumping like compared to Pre-Nats 1, and it was just a lot more standard game.
Yeah,
Sure.
I definitely agree with you. In terms of like there was not that like I was fully prepared for more dump meta. And it turns out that my team was the dump meta. But yeah, it definitely changed like a lot of it where it's just like, oh, it's like we got like 3 minutes left. All right, who's winning? Okay, it's not us. We got to dump. We got to get 10 and then like see how we go. It just it wasn't fun to play. It basically made every game feel the same, no matter who was in it. And like I think it was definitely worthwhile change just because it really stopped that sort of like dumping meta, which is not fun to watch, or well, I guess it's fun to watch, but it's not fun to play every game.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'd argue, if it's happening every game, it's not going to be exciting to watch either, right? It's like the dumps that happen
true.
occasionally
Because
that
you're
are
just
like,
like,
oh my god, are they going to
3
bring
minutes.
it back? Yeah, exactly. But Shaz, what was your opinion on the DMX lights being on or off?
I think I didn't really notice it too much, but I completely agree. There was so much more dumping in Pre-Nats 1, and it was like our captain or like everyone else, they'd look at the lights, oh, we're not winning, go dump, go somewhere that is not our base, go shoot some players. So yeah, I really enjoyed not having the DMX lights, and there weren't any secret ones, so
What a dig! That is a crazy dig.
Damn. It wasn't like a hidden bulb. In the corner.
No hidden light bulb in the corner with the that was a good one. Damn, people are gonna be joking about that forever. I think that's awesome. That's such an awesome bit of laser sporting history. Cool. Yeah, I think I didn't play Prenuts 1, and I was going to say I've never played with DMX lights on, but I've never played knowing that they were on and what they were doing.
Knowingly.
But yeah, I think
Crazy.
I think when you add something like that, like adding giving information to the players, it immediately takes a skill set away from the players as well that they can develop. You know, being able to communicate through your team, like how you going on field points, like good, how you going on field points, like pretty good, not so good, and then as the in-game leader, being able to piece that together and go like, okay, I'm pretty sure we're like even on bases, but I'm pretty sure we're up on field points. And that is a very specific skill. And one that you can kind of develop team wide in terms of like being able to communicate that. And as soon as you put DMX lights in, like you don't need to ask everyone because you know it's an even base game. You look up and you see it's your lights and you're like, okay, we're up on field points. So I think removing them also makes for more interesting games where maybe someone's read on the game is slightly off. Like I think we're going pretty good on field points, but they didn't realize, like maybe they're blue, they've got a good spread going, but they didn't realize that red has been reaming like green door, like green for somehow, okay? And they didn't realize that red actually has like almost twice the amount of pack. You know what I mean? And that makes for really interesting, like a team playing, thinking that they're winning, and then playing as such, but then not realizing that they weren't in that position. So, yeah, I think I'm all for not having them on. And yeah, Prenuts 2 I played, it was fun. A lot of the games felt very, very different. Not to say that there wasn't dumps, you know. If you're an experienced enough team, you can recognize the point where you're like, okay, we're at a point in the game where like the only thing we could do is a Hail Mary. Let's dump, hope we can pull a second. Maybe if they like fight over our dump base, we can maybe get a cheeky first. But at that point, you've already done so many things wrong that like, yeah, you don't really expect to win those. But yeah, I guess
he's gone. Hazmat, take the reins.
Hello? Is it just me? Is everyone else gone? This is very strange. Hold up. I think they're starting to come back.
Oh.
Can you guys see me? Can you see me?
Hello?
And everyone else is gone.
Yeah. Oh. He's talking. He's
That's
not
so
talking
strange.
to
I
us.
thought my
Chat,
internet
wait.
cut out.
Hi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bear with us. I'm gonna go. I don't have a technical difficulties screen. We'll go to the starting soon screen. We'll be back in a sec while I fix this. Sorry. we've gone back. Diego, you're not appearing on the stream, so maybe you like quickly disconnect and come back.
Get out! Get out!
Get out of here. That's
This has
crazy.
been a catastrophe. This has been awful. Hello, everyone. Diego or Lilbo is just disconnecting and coming back. There he is.
He'll be with us again shortly.
Oh my days.
Yeah,
Is the stream still live? Is it still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still going. Okay, amazing.
But Commander Snake, Lilbo's dead.
Okay.
Oh, he's back.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the stream. We just finished talking about DMX lights being on versus off.
Oops.
Consensus. It was great not having them on. Now, the next thing I wanted to ask, I'm completely thrown off. I'm completely thrown. Trigger lockout. How did the trigger lockout being on versus off affect the I guess the general gameplay around the doors? And did you think it made an impact on like the strategies that people were playing? Lilbo, you can go first since you answered first.
Oh, great. I was about to ask if anyone. Yeah, cool. So, I personally love 60 MS, but that's because I'm a defender. It's fantastic. People can come up to me and people can fall over, and I feel good about myself because I'm killing people off death. Like it's
nice.
good. From an attacking point of view, and I did kind of play that mid-attacking role in Prenats 1, it was rough stuff. And with some of the line of sights which have been nullified between Prenats 1 and Prenats 2, predominantly the ramp to green and some of the red kind of area, it was brutal to try and get one and then try and get in the base and get the other without like, you know what I mean? So 60 MS definitely creates a very slow, like methodical. You can't just brawl. You need a panel. You need to like be two LOSs back.
Yeah.
And like go from there. Whereas with 60 MS off, it kind of then born again
Born again. Nice.
I knew you were gonna say it. I said it in my head.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway.
Lovely thing that Queensland, like everybody outside of Queensland hates, where you just come up to a door, kill the one on your door, and just walk in. Like,
yeah.
I think 60 MS is good, but maybe arena dependent. But like, I think it still played alright without it.
Yeah. I think I'll just put my 2 cents because I played a lot of 60 MS, and I'm pretty sure what I played in the US was actually 100 MS. I think it was supposed to be 60, but it did not feel like it felt way harsher. But yeah, having played obviously the last been playing since 2011, and I guess national since 2015. So I've done a lot of no trigger lockout, and then last year I played almost exclusively with trigger lockout because I went to US Nats, I went to Worlds, and then I went to the SWE Nats as well. I think in general, 60 MS is much better on 1 shot per second and stuns because
Agreed.
Yeah.
obviously if on 60 MS I'm the deactivated player, if I can dodge and make them miss, I'm pretty much rewarded with a free kill because I get a full second to shoot them. Whereas on this, even with 60 MS, like 2 shots a second, if I get a really sick dodge, as I go to shoot them, they get to pull their second shot anyway. And so at best, like you'll end up with a double a lot of the time. So definitely much better 1 shot per second stuns, but I think 60 MS can work really well. But I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, Lilbo, in that I think it's very arena dependent, specifically the design of the doors. Like if you like, I imagine, I didn't play, but I imagine trying to attack like that green front door on 60 MS would have been an absolute nightmare.
I get PTSD of Orca. I just and I can't get through. It's just that damn portal every single time.
So any
portal,
Cyrex in the little cubby at front door of red. Driving me crazy. I can't get anywhere near that thing.
Yeah, so I think any kind of position where the door defender not protected by baselines, is kind of protected in that they don't have to watch multiple ways. They just can kind of just sit where they are. That's when 60 ms feels like really, really, really crap. But Hazmat, Shaz, what was your thoughts on the 60 ms versus no 60 ms and the difference it made?
Well, again, as a defender, I'm gonna go against the mold here, and I say that it's so bad. I think 60 ms is so crap.
Oh God, holy!
Like, I hated it so much just because, like, I don't know, I didn't train that much because, like, Launton has had a different system, right? So the actual timing at Launton was different to Sunny Coast because it's on because Sunny Coast is on
Legacy.
Ozone and Launton's on Legacy. So the 60 ms was different. So my timing was awful, and I was on a door, and I was just like, I wanted to die, like, for the whole comp.
You're like, I
and
thought
I
this was 60 ms.
And like, I thought, like, I think it really detracts from the attackers as well, because, like, especially with 2 shots a second, like, once you have them down, you can just literally just keep them down for ages. And, like, they have to go back. They have to go 2 panels back to at least, like, try to snipe you or break line of sight so you don't keep them on a cycle. Like, I just think it really slowed it down, which also then emphasized, like, oh well, we've got nothing. We need to dump because we have no bases at all. Like,
and then you look up and you see on the lights that it's not you.
Yeah,
and
you're like, oh God, Blue's winning because we've just fed them all this pack.
Cartner's put me through 4 reloads.
So yeah, I was really happy that it was gone. Yeah, just because, like, I don't know, I like it being even. I like it. It detracts. I think it also detracts from, like, both ends. So it's like defenders have an easier time, and it's like, oh yeah, whatever. Yeah, just keep the attackers down, super easy. And then the attackers are just like, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
So with no MS, it actually it brings it back to, like, player skill. And, like, obviously there's always going to be tech in the way, but it makes it a sort of a more even playing field where, like, theoretically the better player will win, more often than not.
Yeah.
Is my opinion.
I remember going to Lawton training, and every single week we were like, we're gonna play on Lookout, and I just remember Hazmat screaming no and just like trying to, like, bang a wall or, like, just get so angry. And yeah, no, because I haven't been playing for too long, so I only worked with 60 ms for the lead up to Prenats 1, and I think for a little bit of training for Worlds, like when everyone was going to Worlds. But I just didn't enjoy it at that much. Like, it just wasn't something that I felt elevated, like, my experience. I just didn't. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I think one thing I will say as well is so when I played 60 ms in the US and Sweenats especially, they actually tuned down their IR quite a lot. The Americans tuned them down like almost a criminal amount. In Sweden, they were, like, definitely tuned down to what we're used to. But that made the trigger lockout feel a lot less punishing because the dodging was much more viable. I've found I really enjoy dodging and stuff, but I find when we play Zoltak, the way we tune our IR and packs, like on H Pro, as a skinnier guy myself, it is like I have to pull off the most perfectly executed dodge. Like, there's like a millimeter of, like, difference, and, like, I'm getting shot. Otherwise, like, yeah, it just doesn't work. So the IR that we usually play with in Australia is a bit stronger, and so again, that makes the 60 ms feel even more punishing, because you're like, you could even get a sick dodge, but they just shoot your arm, and it just, like, it hits, like they hit your shoulder, and it just spreads and hits you anyway. That's actually why I think 60 ms on H2 is awesome because the IR is already a lot more. You have to be much more precise on H2, and you can't like the swipe doesn't work. Like the swipe doesn't really work on H Pro either, but because it's a cannon, it doesn't matter. Yeah, H2 60 ms, 1 shot per second stuns. That shit's awesome. But
World's format is sick.
it's
Beautiful.
Sick. Yeah. But 2 shots a second on H Pro with the way we tune the IR, I can see why, like 60 ms would be not an awesome experience. Because it puts the emphasis on your dodging ability, but your dodging ability doesn't matter because you're on H Pro with a strong IR. So, yeah. Any other last thoughts in terms of what was different from Prenats 1 to Prenats 2?
Look, like middle mez control was definitely not nearly as like reliant for a good game this Prenats, I think. Definitely Prenats 1, you would send like your quickest bro up the ramp to try and dominate the ramp and just play lore. All 3 teams would play lore up on the ramp to just shoot down at the other 2 until you have to play lore again. So like, I think with the LOS, like the wall changes, especially around how middle mez works, and then like some of like the front door green and back door blue areas, and back door green, it definitely made ramp still really good, but way less needed than it was in Prenats 1.
Yeah. I think also, I kind of think though the rule changing around like shooting over the half heights from the top of the ramp actually made it like it sort of evened it out a bit as well. Just because like
you can see over those things
for people who didn't know, the gray part, the gray part of the middle mez there, you could like I can see over it, but I couldn't shoot over it. Which means like it locks off a lot of the sight lines, especially into red. For this comp, they just went, whatever, do whatever you want. Like you can shoot down, but they can't shoot up, I think was the ruling. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. So I could actually I could see more of the arena from middle ramp than I could. Well, I could shoot more of the arena. And there was a lot.
130 hazmat just.
The problem was I was too tall, so I was getting shot.
True.
Even when I was like halfway up the ramp. So.
Your bottom chest sensors are showing over the height wall.
I want to highlight this. The changes to red were so nice compared to Prenats 1.
True.
I love this new red. I don't want it to change. The fact that it's not like this. So okay, they added about like half a meter to the width. So like to the width, sort of into that closer to the middle of the arena. So it would make it because before, right? Also dump meta. So everyone dumps to red, and then everybody gets in red, and then no one leaves, and it just piles up with people, and you're all just like this one dude's trying to shoot the base while there's like 50 people in that little U. It's impossible. Also, the barrel got moved outwards, and they changed the base position to be not on the ceiling but on the wall instead. And then they also changed front door.
Yeah, like Beefy's area. I think the Beefy's change was like well needed.
Yeah, it made it a lot more. It made it open. More open, but if you went closer to the door, you got to see less.
Right.
So, it sort of. I think this iteration of red. I hope it doesn't change, but I think it might. I really like this version of red. It kind of fixed all the problems that I had with Prenats 1 red. And yeah. Time and saying red still needs an exit door.
I actually think that's a bad idea. Like, the center, like if you change like the middle area, like you could put an exit door there, like all with blue.
Yeah, put like a little top.
It feels like I'm playing with fire when I try to like walk out of one of those doors.
True.
Yeah.
You either get cleaned up by the door or cleaned up by a random person just chilling in Shingus. Like he just like runs around at mock speed and takes it out.
Absolutely. Especially backdoor of red. Because it's got that corner. Someone can just come around that corner and just clean you up. yeah, so I was super happy with the red changes. I think it was I think it was definitely needed. And the green front door changes as well, where they moved the no play zone up to the wall. It made, like, I think it needs a little bit of working, because it made the front door like a death zone where if you're attacking, like, everyone just piles up there and there's no walls. But it stopped that sort of defensive play where people are just like, yeah, I'm on portal, and there's nothing you can do about it. You have to you'll have to stand off with me on behind me, and then the player in 7 can just shoot you, and just like, you get nowhere.
Yeah, I can see that would have been really hard to deal with, especially with 60 MS. That would have been criminal.
It was nuts. So I think it was the maze changes were a step in the right direction. I just think there needs to be some minor tweaks to a couple of those points.
Sick. Shaz, sorry, Lilbo. Anything else that was different from Prenuts 1 to Prenuts 2 that you wanted to highlight and talk about before we move on to the teams?
Did we talk about the extra part on the barrel inside of red, like the extra
little panel bit?
What's it called? It's like, yeah, that wasn't there in Prenuts 1, was it?
No, it was just a barrel.
I think it's
really
it's like good. It's like, it's probably makes it like well better. Because if you try and hold on one side, you get blindsided to front door, and you hold on the other side, you get shot out of Timbuktu. So like, but like, it adds like that little bit of extra cover that you probably need, right?
Yeah.
It made it more accessible to everyone, really. Yeah. That's what I mean. Red's goated.
I ended up last lining for the last half of the tournament, and yeah, last lining red was probably my favorite. It was super fun. I did not like all the back-breaking kind of shit I was having to do in green and in blue, like trying to be underneath those half fights. That was less fun. But
yeah.
Cool. Anything else we want to highlight before we move on to the teams?
Pretty good.
I think I'm good.
You covered.
Sick. Cool. Alrighty. Let's move on. So in 14th place, we had Queen Bees. So on Queen Bees, we had Dirtbag, Arden, Innie, Jag034, Hendo, and Benbow. So this time around, I've omitted all of the solo ladder stats, but I have included their win rates, courtesy of Laserbase. Thank you, Laserbase. Their win-loss records on each of the colors. So as we can see, no wins across the board. So this is just from round robin to the end of Cascade 2. It doesn't include the Ascensions records. They had their most luck on red, which makes sense. Like, statistically, red was the strongest base at the tournament. Okay, I'll press hide. Sorry, Wax. Thank you. And then otherwise, struggled quite a bit. But they were equal with their predictions. So who wants to start off talking about Queen Bees?
Shaz first? Question mark?
Go on, yeah. I mean,
go for your life, Shaz.
Just even looking at the team members, like, this was their first time playing together. Like, Arden's from Canberra, Benbow's on a team with, like, I think it's like a sparish parts team sort of thing. Dirtbags on Inferno, and then the only two players that are on the same team for Nats are Innie and Hendo. So it was a really bit, like, almost mismatched. But I think that from what I saw, every game we played against them, they definitely kept their head up. Like, their mental was super strong. I think they were just struggling a little bit because it was Dirtbag's first time captaining, so they didn't have as much power as they could have had with that little bit of time spent together trying to figure out what's it called, like, just proper strategies that they could fall back to if something were to happen, that sort of thing.
Yeah, sure. And have any of these players played a tournament before? I was in at Prenuts 1, so I don't know. But is this their first tournament?
So I played with Innie and Dirtbag on the Professors
No.
for Prenuts 1. And like the team is a very defensive team. So like Hendo, Innie, and Jag. I can't say anything about Arden. They're all defensive players. So like Hendo's typically door defender plus Jag plus Innie is like typically last line / door defender. And like Benbow is sort of like attacker. He's like a weird floaty attacker.
Yeah.
Yep. So like, and then Dirtbag really was their only sort of like main driving force, and it also it was his first comp as captain. The highest level he's ever captained is at league.
Stud.
And but like I do agree with Shaz. Like throughout the entire, like they were kind of getting beaten up a little bit. But they were just like, I sat in a couple of their team chats, especially on day 2 with like Cascades. And they're just like, yeah, well, like what happened and like how do we solve this problem? So like they definitely were still, even towards the end, definitely trying to find a solution and sort of make a break. And they were just sort of like, a couple of games they would be coming in second, and then just like by like the 8-minute mark they just kind of like lost it. Like they just couldn't get pack or bases or something. Like they just couldn't keep that foothold. And I just think that is lack of experience, especially as a team. Like you don't have synergy, especially like the defense can't go like, hey man, Dirt, we got to do something, man. Like nothing's happening.
Yeah.
So I think that the lack of experience definitely bit them in the ass there.
It happens, but you know, you got to go through a few tournaments
Jag's
where you struggle. A fellow person.
Hello. My bad.
You go.
The internet strikes again.
Oh,
no. Oh my god, it's happened again. Queensland, what's with your internet, guys? This is woeful. Am I still here? Can you guys see me? Chat? Hello? Or am I gone as well? This is awesome. I'm here. That's awesome. Awesome work. Apologies everyone. Growing pains of moving to a new place, I think. So I'm just gonna go to a different screen for a sec while I fix this. One moment. Apologies everyone.
The stream was like, Hazmat's yapping. Hello.
Hazmat,
gotta quit.
shut up.
Hello,
Get him
everyone.
out of there.
Get him
Oh, my screen's black.
Timed out.
Jesus Christ. Hello everyone, we're back. Apologies.
What's up?
My days. Queensland.
Okay. Speedrun. Get the speedrun timer in the
Yeah.
corner. Let's go. New world record.
Yeah, let's do hold up. Can I do a timer somehow? Yeah. No, I I'm just gonna set it on my phone. We're gonna do like, so because I don't know how many more times my internet's gonna cut out. We're gonna try and speed run the rest of the teams. So everyone has like a minute to say something about the team.
Holy smokes.
Okay, gotta lock in.
Is that not enough?
No,
Should we do-
I think it's fine.
it'll be fine.
I'm the yapper here, so like,
I'll give some of my minutes if need
Alright.
be.
tell me to go. Tell me to
Okay.
fuck off.
Shut up. Time's up.
Chat. Are we back? Can you hear everyone? Can you see everyone? Is everything good and
I
awesome?
think so. They're talking about Yapmat, so.
Yep, Matt.
Yeah, Matt. Yeah,
so
Oh
I
my
think we're
days.
back.
I think so.
Okay, Lilbo. Thoughts on the Queen Bees? Go.
Okay,
minute.
1 minute. Go.
Starting now.
Okay, so I only played these guys once and only ref them once. But I think the lack of experience and lack of cohesion definitely showed within this team. Like, all of them on an individual basis, I could definitely see from an outside perspective that they had the right idea. It's just that they struggled to execute it. And I think that following the game out was a huge, like, I completely agree with Hazmat in what Hazmat has said. Dude, that time was stressing me out. I completely agree with Hazmat that like they rode seconds for like halfway through the game. They were doing pretty well, and then just like as it gets towards that last third of the game, just struggled to close it out and lost on like 2-3 bases. Like, yeah, I don't really know much else to say. I think all of these players by themselves have great potential, but this is probably a good learning experience for everyone.
Excellent work. That was on the dot. Amazing work. Okay. Shaz, Hazmat, have you both said something? I can't remember.
Yes,
Yep,
I
Matt.
yapped for about 2 minutes. So
Okay, that was sick.
He took my minute.
you got to steal my minutes for the next team.
All right. So did anyone have a? You don't have to have one. Don't just make one up. But did anyone have a standout player that you feel went above and beyond, or someone you want to highlight? Hazmat.
I got to give it to Dirtbag.
Damn it! That's what I was
Yes.
going to say.
Okay,
Diego.
well, guys, we can't
My-
all pick the same
my
player
goat.
now.
My goat Dirtbag. Yeah, just because it was his first comp as captain, like, and that's a lot of pressure. He definitely he rose to the occasion and he tried his best with the knowledge that he had from Launton League. So yeah, he's my goat. He's my star player for the Queen Bees.
Amazing. Shaz, who's your goat?
I'm gonna say just literally based on like an all-rounder thing, Arden did fantastic considering they've never played with any of these other players before. I don't even think they've met any of these other players until now, and obviously that's like ridiculously nerve-wracking, and they just kept their head up. It's a new maze. I think this was their first proper comp at this sort of like level, so I think that was amazing for them. Props to them. So yeah.
And Diego or Lilbo, sorry. Who's your goat?
First thing I really want to say is piss off Taipan. That's crazy. But I think that Dirtbag, for the cards that he was dealt, played a very good hand of poker. And I think he, like, the fact that he managed to, like, stay calm and collected, and everybody on this team is, like, with this positive attitude, I'd probably call him my MVP. Guy did great, especially for his first time. He did really well.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna say. So I remember versing this team once, maybe twice, because Aftershock was quite low on the ladder early on. And I remember, I think it was Dirtbag and Bembo. They were attacking our base, and they were setting up pins and stuff, and they were executing, and they were getting in, and that was awesome. So I just wanted to highlight that. You know, doing things like pins and stuff, and coordinating when you're on attack. Very nice. That's the right direction. And the person that was lunging me out was Bembo, with his long ass arms. So
His launches are kind of crazy.
I do gotta say, like, he is a freak. Like, I was struggling. Like like my team was struggling against Bembo. Bro, I don't know what he does. He pulls off the craziest shit and then like does the dumbest shit literally right
Immediately
afterwards.
after.
Like,
Amazing.
like,
What a start.
like I'm literally like, and then I'm like, oh.
Loki, I'm not even gonna lie. You can quote me for this, Shaz, but it's like kinda. I can only imagine his dives is if like Poppy's playtime was playing laser tag. Like he's so wobbly. He's like an inflatable arm man, dude. That guy, but he goes crazy. His dives are so
like
nuts.
the car salesman, and they like do the yeah.
Amazing. Well, at that, good hustle from the Queen Bees. Equal predictions. We'll move on to 13th. We have Surge Pants. So on Surge Pants, we had just getting aliases because I'm not super familiar with everyone. Muffin, Commander Snake, Gooby, Diggy, and Sawdust. Who wants to talk about Surge Pants first? You're on the clock when someone says.
I'm not going to say much because we literally only played them once, like
Well,
a
your time has
singular
started.
time. Okay, singular time. We literally only played them once. I'm giving my minutes away. All I know is that when I chatted to them, they were very lovely. When I was reffing, it was again that keeping their head up. I was watching Snake trying to get through a base with, I think it was Diggy, and they just kept trying. They kept going. There wasn't any, harshness or anger or anything. So I really thought that was pretty good, but that's all I saw. So yeah.
Mhm. Amazing. You had 20 seconds left, but that's not banking. It's just a minute for everyone.
Oh,
Who was to go
sorry.
next?
I guess I'll go because technically my team was cooler than this team.
Technically.
Ooh.
So,
Ooh.
I love these guys. These guys are like currently some of my like best friends in the scene. I talk to them so much. Also, Muffin's photo here is absolutely ridiculous. He is so nonchalant, and I just want to
WA
point that out.
Clash is written on it.
Comes to WA Clash also. But I think that this team did pretty good. Now, a lot of these players have not played H Pro or a Helios system in general, for that matter. Like, I know they've got like their kind of training over there, but it's not fantastic. They have zone emulation, but they used to have a H Pro side as well. I think that they did pretty good, and I think that with like some really like locked in motivation and like pumping the hard yards, that the newer players, I'm kind of counting Snake out of this because he did really well. That this team, like the players on this team, could excel. Also, that's my cloak and dagger one trick. That's all I gotta say.
Stud. All right, and Hazmat, you're up.
Mine's gonna be really short because I reckon we versed these guys like once during round robin, and I'm pretty sure we dumped because we were like, we haven't dumped yet. Let's dump. And it literally was like our second game and their first game of the comp. So like, yeah, I didn't actually think about like they don't have H Pro at all over there. So yeah, like I think that's really impressive. Basically, if they're all like, other than Snake and Gooby, like newish players, I'm really impressed with like, yeah, if their ability to just keep going and just keep trying to new strats. But yeah, I literally played them once and didn't ref any of the games. So, 5 seconds. That's it.
Amazing
Oh,
work.
so stressful.
It's good, huh? I like
Dude,
this.
it's like I'm giving a speech in school.
Yeah, like you have to do it within a certain amount of time, otherwise you lose.
Yeah,
marks or
it's like,
something. Yeah.
dude.
You see the teacher at the back on the desk, like marking it down after you've been speaking for 5 minutes. You're like, shit.
Well, like they go like, and you're like, oh,
Did they ever have the bell for you guys, like the countertop bell, and they go ding 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 for like 1 minute left?
No,
I've
no,
had
no.
that before. I've had that
Yeah.
before.
I get the mean stare, and it's like, and it's like, oh,
Amazing.
dude, okay.
Yeah, I think same thing for me. I don't know. I don't like there were actually. Jesus Christ. We versed this team once as well. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember playing them. I do remember reffing one game of theirs. Granted, it was at this point of the game that they had dumped to Catalyst Space and they were trying to get in and they were trying to set up pins, but they just had Wax was on the door being an absolute menace. So that was the only thing I remember seeing of them. But all I can say is that Kamada Snake has been really growing into a super consistent player. So kudos to him for playing with these less experienced players. Obviously, Gooby's not less experienced, but for with the others. So kudos to him for taking this team, giving them that experience, leading the way. That's all I have to say. I didn't time myself, but it was less than a minute.
That's okay. That's okay. I was timing you for you.
All right. Oh, you were? Oh my god. So, if we look at their record, they were pretty even across the board. 1 second, four thirds on all of the team, on all of the colors. Don't think there's much to deduce from that. Nothing particularly interesting. Like a weird win rate from a weird color. So we'll leave it at that.
They're perfectly balanced.
As all things should
on every
be.
color.
As all things should be.
Cheers. So, who is your GOAT, Lilbo? Go. Oh, I don't need a time now.
A full minute for that, holy. Like, as much as I think that we all want to just glaze Snake for like being like very kind of elo smasher in like the kind of like ranks that his team was in, I actually want to point out Sawdust. I actually think Sawdust did very well in defense, and considering that I don't think they played a couple games at Albury, did really well. Saw them last time, saw them door defend, did really, really well. So I'm gonna actually say Sawdust.
Sick. Hazmat, who's your GOAT?
I don't have one. I literally have.
You don't have to have.
I have seen nothing of this team. Like I didn't even really catch any of their games when I wasn't playing. And yeah, I'm not gonna say Snake just because I don't know how anybody else did. So
no, that's cool.
I will abstain from my goatage.
That's fine. Shaz, do you have a pick for your greatest of all time?
I played them once, man. I played them once. I really wish I played them more to say something, but again, I'm just looking forward to seeing who any of them come for pre-3. So yeah.
Cool. Happy days. Well, yeah, 13th Search Pants done 1 from predictions. Hope to see all of the players back for pre-Nats 3. Hope you registered in time. You didn't have much time. It was like a day and a half or something.
Yeah.
Not even.
Not even.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
Speaking of speedruns.
Speaking of. All right, in 12th place, we had Spare Parts, up 1 from predictions. So we had Tricky, Boots, Kit, Blitz, and Mum. Looking at their record, again, this is just from round robin through to Cascade 2, so it doesn't speak on the last day, but they only had the 1 win on red. So if you're going to have a win, and like it's going to be from red probably at this tournament.
Go to red base.
Yeah. And then not too bad on blue, like being able to pull a bunch of seconds. Green, they really struggled with. So who wants to talk about Spare Parts first?
Okay. I'm gonna hop on. I'm here. I think this team did pretty well. I think Boots was running the attack, and like they were getting through. Like we were dropping bases to them in Cascade 2 when we were playing them, which is wild. I just think like, especially I'm gonna highlight like Kit was playing really well, Mum was playing really well. Like Kit was playing pretty well for this comp. It's just that like that green stat is just like I think lack of like they haven't played together. I think green you sort of need to have a bit of synergy and push pull. But I think overall these guys played very consistently and they just had a really good comp in general. Especially with the composition where it's like Blitz hasn't played in a while. And yeah. Very consistent.
And
Got a couple words in there. Sorry, guys.
That's fine. I'll let it slide.
C minus.
Who wants to go next?
I will. So, is my timer starting? Timer is going. Okay. I think this is probably one of the teams that the more you watched them unfold over the comp, the more that you got to kind of see them grow and like improve on their like problems that they were having. So this team actually really surprised me. And I want to start off by also saying that Blitz, like in this like kind of enabling role that he played, they played a lot of 3 attacks, is such a guy. And Kit played like, this is probably the best I've ever seen Kit play. Like this is like, she went pretty crazy. And I see them getting some pretty good bases. The defense lacked a little bit, especially with those 3 attacks. They played Tricky and Blitz or Tricky and Mom on a door. And it kind of just like fell apart and turned into a dump half the time. But overall, I actually kind of respected this team. And I actually thought that they did really well. That's all I got to say about that. But yeah.
That's all I got to say about that. Amazing. You had 2 seconds left. Stud. All right, Shaz, you're up. Boom, go. Time's on.
Okay. I think from what I saw, their attack absolutely smashed us. Whenever I was defending, they would just come in and they'd just get their bases and run off. Like they were really, really good on that attacking thing. I think from that, obviously, because they had their 3 attacking a lot of the time, the defense wasn't as up as much, which would have let a couple bases or more drop down, which was probably the weaker side of their group. But it was definitely really interesting because they were a team that I really kind of saw that development. And again, Kit went crazy. like she was playing insanely well. And yeah, so that's my thoughts.
Amazing. For me, I don't remember versing this team, so I'm not going to make stuff up. All I can really comment on is, yeah, I mean, there's a reason, like a traditional setup is you have 3 defenders and 2 attack. Because it's feasible for a 2 attack to break through a defense of 3 defenders. It is not nearly as feasible for 2 defenders to keep out 2 attackers. Because they can just go to the door that they don't even have to win a duel on. If they know how to set up a pin, it's going to be pretty easy for them to get in. Obviously, there's things you can do. Oh, it's happened.
Oh.
It's happened? No.
No.
We're still here. We're still here.
We're here.
We're alive. We're alive. It's okay. It's okay.
Woo! Let's go. Jesus.
The world's quickest.
No. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
We're fine.
Oh my god! I thought it. You guys are you guys are just gonna you guys are just fucking pulling my leg. You
No.
No, we were not pulling your leg.
No.
You pulled our leg.
Leg has been pulled. Anyway,
Oh, bro. He is very.
Uh-oh, guys. We're in
No.
trouble.
what is going on? Are you guys talking shit again, or is this real?
Hello. No.
Hello?
Run it. Keep going.
Keep going. You gotta keep going.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good now. We're good now.
They're good now.
Jesus Christ! All right.
It's fine. I'll put my responses in the chat.
Okay. Amazing. Far out. Yeah, 3 attacks are very good, but you can't really do a lot with 2 defense, especially if teams identify, this is the team that always attacks with 3. As soon as we see them attacking, not us, we basically get a free base. So I know we used a lot of blitzes in the end, but you had to be very careful of your timing of when you chose to do those blitzes. And that's kind of the next evolution, I guess, of if this team did play again, being more precise of the timing of when they do it. But anyway, that's all I have to say. Jesus. Hazmat, who'd you go?
I'm gonna get the popular pick super early. Kit. I think Kit played a phenomenal comp. It's probably the best I've seen Kit play. Period. And I've known Kit for a little while now. Yeah, I think Kit was playing extremely well. And that's basically it. Just very consistent. And consistently good as well. Yeah, keep it short and sweet.
I'm gonna say Blitz because he just jumps back into these comps like with just passion, and he's like it's like he never left almost. I'd say.
Blitz is a top G.
Yeah.
Top
Yeah,
jam.
But, like-
Lilbo?
I was like gonna say Kit, and then Kit got said, so I was gonna say Blitz, but I actually kind of think of them both. So I think Kit, as an individual performance, probably played the best. Did very well. Did absolutely fantastic. Best I've ever seen Kit play. In terms of like a overall team performance, I think the way that Blitz handled this team, phenomenal. Really like plus rep, respect, love the guy to bits. So glad he's back. And yeah.
Training with Blitz
Amazing.
is great. I'm so glad he's back.
Yeah, he's a character, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Blitz as well. Just I think given the makeup of this team, again, like you were saying, the kind of that supporting float role, like being a part of the helping, being that like sudden third person rocking up for a Blitz, was a log of this team's success. Got them up one from predictions, so yeah, I'll go with Blitz as well. Amazing. Moving on, 11th place.
Rocking up for a Blitz, no pun intended.
Unintended.
Yeah,
Unintended.
I'll see myself out. I'll see myself out.
Ew! What team is this?
Yo!
11th, we have
Ew.
Lacy Town. Equal
Ew.
predictions. 2 wins from red, 1 from blue, 1 from green. Yeah. Again, like if you're going to expect someone to have more wins on a certain base, you'd probably expect it to be from red. So that's to be expected. But another team that struggled a little bit more on green versus the other ones. And maybe Shazza can shed some light on that. Shazza, you have a minute.
I don't know, man.
I think because we're a developing team, we struggled a little bit when it came to mid to end of game, making decisions based on what was happening. We had a really good starting plan with what we wanted to do, and that was something that I was really happy that we were doing and working together on. But then we'd get to like the 8-9 minute mark, and it would be like if I was last lining, I'd be saying to the defense, I'm like, should we just call it? Should we call a dump? Like I wasn't really prepared to make those decisions, and I know obviously everyone else, we were all very new to this sort of thing, so we weren't super sure. So I think that's where we lost a lot of our momentum. So yeah.
Amazing. Nice work. Who's next?
Thank you.
I'll take the reins.
Diego, you wanna get in on this?
I played this team probably the least in the entire comp. Didn't see them. Maybe saw them one game.
I think we
Reference
played you guys
game,
like
but
once.
yeah, but they beat Catalyst, so I don't know what's going on. This team, I think, has a lot of potential, and this comp is going to be really good for them in the sense that they can reflect on some of the stuff that didn't work and some of the stuff that did work, take away what needs to be taken away, and going forth towards pre-Nats 3 and towards Nats, and even though the roster's not entirely the same, still going to take away and like drastically improve. I think this has got like, it's got some great personalities on this team. I think overall it's a pretty good team. Just like very consistent. Like, not too much else to say. Starts off really strong, but then finishes out probably a little bit slower than you'd hope, but like nothing that can't be worked out, I don't think.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well done. And Hazmat, you're up.
Okay, so this team has the Queensland development team curse of as soon as they verse like a Queensland or similar level, like a Storm or a Catalyst or whatever, similar level team, they can like pull out strats that just like kick those teams' ass. Like I think, as Firebird said in the chat, Storm never beat Lazy Town, so like
I'm just saying.
So I think that Diego's flabbergasted.
Sorry, I was shocked. I didn't even see that.
So I think like they've got that sort of development team curse, the Queensland development team curse, where they can like pull something out and beat against some really strong teams, and then against teams that are sort of like mid to low tier, they just flounder because those teams are just like nuts and they just kind of go crazy. 3 seconds. Everybody here is cool, and I want to see them grow.
Amazing.
Cute little fight finishing out there.
Cool. We versed Lacey Town 2 times from memory. The only thing that I remember was, once again, I was last lining for the back half of the tournament for Aftershock, and who was the main attacking pair, Shaz, that would have like opened up?
We would switch between pandas or Western usually. Sometimes Rat, I think, was mostly.
With Newt.
Yeah, sorry, with Nunu. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so those two gentlemen, I distinctly remember every time they rocked up to a base, I think more often than not, I think both times we versed them, we were green. And they would rock up, they would win the duel on the door defender, they would set up a pin, they would lunge me out, and they would get the base. Pretty, like, consistently, the 2 times I remember versing them on green, yeah, they got our base, like 1 or 2 hits on our base, maybe even 3, within the first half of the game, like very early. So I'll give some kudos for that. That was really cool to see. If they can keep improving on like other parts of the game, like putting yourself in a position where you're in more of a position to set up more pins. That's the secret sauce, because a lot of people know how to do pins now, but the hard bit is actually getting to the point where you can execute it. You know, the steps before that. But yeah, kudos to that, because that's all I can remember, unfortunately. Now, I forgot to say the full roster for the team. So we had Newt, Shaz, Ems, Pandas, Weston, and Rat. Lilbo, you were saying that this roster is going to be slightly different for the next tournament and potentially nationals. Do we know what that difference is yet, or is that unconfirmed?
Yes.
Get rid of Rat.
Yeah. So Rat is not on this team, but Dirtbag is.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So a little switcheroo there.
Yeah.
Slight
It's just like a
miscommunication.
1-for-1, and Rat is playing for the 8th one, Calamity, with Ini,
Calamity.
Hendo, etc.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think Dirtbag was meant to play with this team. There was just a bit of miscommunication when it came
Yes.
to getting the team on the getting the roster in for Prenats 2.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong.
No, you're very
Will not be
right.
quoted. Cool. Who is everyone's MVP?
Oh man, this is hard.
Okay, I'm going to go first then. No,
someone
I'm
go
going
first.
I'm going first. Newt, my go. Obviously, captain. And it was his first time captaining, and especially having that pressure of knowing that you're going to be also captaining this team for Nats. So having that pressure to try and perform, so you know that you feel like you're going to do good at Nats and that sort of thing. And I think he really didn't get crushed under that pressure. I think he really soared through it really well. So yeah.
Awesome. Lilbo, Hazmat, who's your MVP?
I think that Pandas can go very far. Like, watching this guy train and watching this guy train and watching him in the games that I saw them in / I played, I think this guy could, like, with enough time, could low-key do everything. Like, he's pretty good in defense. He's like a pretty solid attacker. I think he's great. Also, I hate that Rat guy, bro. He's such a freak. Look at it. Look at
Stop
his face in this
it.
photo.
Do not bring this to the stream.
Such a freak, bro. Nah, I think Pandas could go a very long way. So I'm gonna say Pandas.
Cool. And Hazmat.
Okay. Man, I didn't have enough time to think. They're kind of all my personal goats. These guys are all great. But yeah, I'm gonna highlight Newt again, just because I think he captained a little bit for Prenats 1 with Cyrex and Shock, but this was his first time actually captaining for a whole comp, and yeah, especially like pulling off some of the wins that this team did against some of those teams that have been around for ages, especially like Storm, who are the Sunny Coast locals, and like they train against those players specifically a lot. Newt's probably my highlight, but it's very close. Like, all of these guys, I want to see their growth. I'm super excited to see where they go at, like, in 1 to 2 Nats' time. Even like this coming up pre-Nats, like, these guys I think these guys have a lot of potential, every single one of them. So yeah, I'm excited to see all of them, but Newt is my personal goat.
Amazing, very wholesome, very nice. Cool. I wouldn't be able to pick one, so I won't. We'll move on. 11th Lazy Town, equal predictions. Very nicely done. Looking forward to see the growth from this tournament to the next one. Happy days. 10th place, we have the Wildcats. Equal predictions. So we had Easy Points, Bubbles, Sega, Mantis, and Celery. So this team also struggled to string some wins together, but interestingly, the 2 wins they did have was from green and not from red. So I think something I'll comment on quickly, I guess I'll count this as my 1 minute, was so Sega was their last line because he's still dealing with a little bit of that ankle injury. If you haven't seen the picture of his like ankle when like it first happened, it was pretty gnarly. It was pretty damn gnarly. So still struggling a bit with that. So he was in the last line position, and he did green a little bit differently, where a lot of players were playing the green 7, watching front door like very low, and then like shooting over the half height to shoot back door. He, because of his ankle, was not able to get that low, so he was instead playing the key and box, which would have been extremely difficult to pull off, but he obviously had some very, very good comms. Mantis is like a known door defender, very good on comms. Her voice like pisses through everything as well. So I think that combination in their defense was probably a big part of why they were able to string some of those wins together. But that's all I have to say. Who's next?
I'll go. Yay, me. First off, I'll start by saying I love this team. It's got some great personalities on this team. I think every time that I've ever seen any of them, they've always just been so friendly and nice, and it's always so refreshing to see them at a comp. Having Alex Sega in last line is a little bit of a stab to their attack. Obviously, it's pretty harsh. He still did pretty well, and as you said, he played green. He played green on key and under a lot, which works, but it's not as effective. I still think that with the cards that they had, they still played pretty well. So they had Easy Points and Celery out first for most of what I saw. Easy Points obviously didn't play Aubrey, but I'm not sure if he kind of kept up training throughout that break, but he picked it back up really quick. And I think that they did pretty well. Overall, very consistent. The Archangels, Wildcats, whatever they want to call themselves, always super consistent. Don't have much else to say.
Amazing. Who's next? Oh, I'm sorry. Who's next?
I'll get in. So I didn't realize that Sega was injured. So when I saw him last lining red, I was like, "What the heck is he doing? Why is he in there?" Because I was like, he's usually the guy. He's running the attack. He's telling everybody where to go, and I was very confused. But I was just like, maybe they just need that defensive sort of buffer. I didn't really see a lot of this team other than that. I just noted I refed a couple of their games where it's just it was their red games, where it was they would drop a couple and then they would lose a couple and then eventually they would just dump. So I just think that they were really struggling. I did talk to them. They were struggling with how mazy the maze was, because they would get shot from somewhere and they're like, where was it? And that's definitely a thing. So, but yeah, it's great to see them. Seeing them is really nice. I agree with Lilbo. They're always refreshing. Okay, I'm stopped. I'm finished.
You're over the time, buddy.
I just want to yap, man. I'm sorry.
56 seconds for the next one.
Yeah. All right, Shaz, you're up. You ready?
Yeah, because I don't know any of these people. I literally played, I think we played a couple of games that I barely remember, and then I think we were in our final game against them. And I just remember they had a lot of attacking power at the end. At the start it didn't feel like as much, but then I think they did that thing where they get to the finals game and then they just kind of destroy us a little bit. So
Sure.
that's what I saw, and I thought that was very admirable.
Amazing.
That's classic Archangels. Classic Archangels.
Classic Archangels.
When Ascensions, it's on, baby. They're locked in.
Yeah.
Rocky music starts playing.
The climb is on.
Yeah, they are Ascension's bloody freaks every single time. Cool. Well, who is everyone's MVP? Smile.
Easy points went crazy, I think, for the break that he had. I think he did very well.
Mhm.
I don't have much more else to say, but I think he did very well.
Yeah, I mean, there wouldn't have been much of a break, but the first training game at Worlds, he destroyed himself. So yeah, he's
True. I forgot
playing
about that. Oh
presently.
my.
yeah. Cool. Hazmat or Shaz?
I guess I'll give it to Sega, especially like holding green in that way is like it's so unoptimal. It sucks to hold key and box, like especially especially being injured, like in this maze where half walls are so prevalent. I know it just sucks not being able to crouch. So yeah, I'll give it to him, especially playing while still like recovering.
Stud and Shaz.
I have no one. I don't know.
No,
I
you don't have
can't tell
to.
the difference.
That's cool.
No one.
Ah.
I'm gonna go with Sega as well. Just again, kudos for just feeling a different position that you would normally play due to an injury and making the most of it. Again, especially given how how powerful crouching is in bases like blue and green, especially. The fact that he was able to play it at all is really cool. So I'll give him some kudos for that as well. Amazing. So Wildcats equals predictions, 10th place. I think we're getting some kind of Hobart team coming to Pre-Nats 3. If not Pre-Nats 3, definitely Nats with like Sega on it. But I'm pretty sure it's only going to be the one team. Amazing.
That sucks, man. That sucks.
Yeah. 9th place, we have Rustic down 1 from predictions. So on Rustic, we have Master Mopar, Stingray, Robo, Orcarai, Raven, and Insomniac. Formerly Venom, I believe. I think this is his. Did he play Pre-Nats 1?
Yes.
Okay.
As Insomniac, yeah.
So
He was there. Yeah.
So not his first tournament back since I think Darwin was the last time I remember seeing him. But
He did play Rumble, but yeah.
okay, cool. Well, this team, interestingly, they had more luck out of green and blue than they did red, which is a little unexpected. Yeah. Who wants to go first? I need to think for a sec because I definitely versed this team, but
I've got some stuff to say, but if other people want to go first, then absolutely feel free.
no,
You have
you're
the
up.
floor, little boy. You're up.
You're up.
Time's
Bro,
running, dude.
this poor team, like from the perspective that I saw them, I'm looking at a sine wave here. Like it's doing these ones. Like they had a very probably not the comp that they expected. I think all of these players individually did really well, but every time that I saw them, it was pretty rough. Pretty rough. They definitely had their games. I think it's like this is one of those teams that has like really high highs and then like really shit lows, you know?
Mhm.
And maybe the red thing could be like all of these players are super experienced and a lot of them have played Sunny Coast. Obviously, blue and green have not changed super much. Like blue, like they've changed a little bit, but not heaps. So they're probably still like very consistent with like how they play. And red, they have to bro, I don't even know what I'm saying. They did fine. It was just wild. They had a wild ride. But yeah,
That's funny.
bro, I'm stressed.
Dude.
That's awesome.
I guess
Who's next?
Yeah. I'm up, baby. I agree with Lilbo. This team was very like up and down. in terms of like especially who they versed. Like if they versed like a really like sort of the mid tier / low, like they were doing some of the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life. Like and against sort of the higher end, like they were pulling off bases. Like a couple of the plays that they played were really amazing. I don't know what it is. I don't know what sort of happened. But yeah, I definitely don't think they played the comp that they were expecting to play. And I just think yeah, that's sort of basically it. I just like yeah, I don't know. It's definitely, it sucks to see from these guys.
Amazing. Nice work, Hazmat. You did it in time this time. Shaz, are you ready?
I'm gonna take about 10 seconds because these two have yapped their best, and it literally they've covered everything. Like anything I say is gonna just be double up.
Amazing. Cool. I'll go as well. So we ended up playing Rustic in our elimination game. And I think we'd versed them 1 or 2 times before that as well. Mopar and Stingray attacking my base was pretty scary, especially like Red. They were very, very good at slipping into Shingus.
Don't say it like that, bro. That's weird as hell.
Not just from the tight side.
Why do you say it?
Also,
why do you say it so sus, dude?
So the Shingus, bro.
Sorry. But also, they're really good at that dash, especially Mopar from the pin side of Red Backdoor to Shingus, and then coming back around or circling around. So they were a nightmare to deal with as a last line. But yeah, I think I have nothing else to say. Smile. And my time's up anyway.
Right.
That was criminal. That should be a criminal offense to say it like that. Hey, that was gross. Anyway, who's everyone's MVP?
Okay. I saw. Yeah. You're done for.
I'm sitting down.
I saw Orkarai make quite a few good plays when he was versing against us. Just the way that he was holding things and positioning himself really made my job a whole lot harder, and I probably like gave away a couple bases just because of it. So yeah, I'd say Orkarai.
Yep. I'll definitely second that, Shaz. Especially some of the games that I saw Orkarai like some of the games I saw and some of the plays I saw, Orkarai like was cracked. Like he was getting bases that like theoretically like he probably shouldn't have, but dude just was like, he was killing people. This was going crazy.
Red boss.
Yeah, dude, he was going nuts. So yeah, I'll give Orkarai. I'll give it to Orkarai.
Bro,
Lilbo.
Nicholas with the hat trick. Like I was gonna say Orkarai as well. Like he's going for 3. Orkarai did really well. I think Orkarai has always been like a very consistent player. And he's always a demon on a door. Like it's kind of like probably one of the players that I'm most scared to like go up and verse, right? Can crack bases, can take bases. He's just a demon overall. Did pretty well. I see you laughing. I know what you're laughing about, but
you can't say demon and door in the same sentence, man.
Explain it later.
You've ruined it for me.
For me, I'm going to pick Stingray, because I think I remember in the games that we played against them, I'm pretty sure he was pretty consistently sneaking past my door defenders, and I would be watching like Red Backdoor, and then he would come in from front and he'd just like shoot me super nonchalant, take the base, and I was like, that's awesome. And he did that quite a few times. He did get denied a few times, like very lucky denial. Like I'm pretty sure I remember one was absolutely a reflect off, like a random reflect off of a random wall. But yeah, I'll shout out Stingray, still able to put on a bit of a pace. And because I was last nighting, he was one of the people I was seeing the most and giving me trouble. So yeah, cool. So that's Rustic, down 1 from predictions. Is this going to be a Nats team or is this just a pre-Nats team?
Yes, this
I think
is
that's
like
it.
this is the 6 on this team.
Cool. Amazing.
And I think they're locked in for pre-3 as well.
Amazing.
Not Stingray, isn't
No
it?
stingers, correct? Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Okay.
No, there is no stingers. Yeah.
Oh, there is no Stingray. Okay, yeah. There's no Stingray, and instead they've picked up Wild Card.
There-
That's what it says on
There
the
is
retro.
wild card on that team, I think. I'll confirm it later.
Stuff's happening.
Amazing. Moving on. 8th, we have the cooler Surge Pants, down
Okay.
1 for predictions.
These guys.
Absolute beasts out of red, and then struggled a little bit out of blue and green. Lilbo, do you want to get us started?
I am the ultimate D1 crash out. I can so we are pretty solid solo players all together. We had a very strong cohesion issue because obviously none of us have played together. Alex and Josh, so Method and Plank, are on the same Nats team, but Brody's not on any team. We've never played with Ben before. We're all very solo. Halfway through the comp, I started captaining. Great, yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I can do that. I don't know. I think I struggled to execute the vision that I saw, and I crashed out shit tons. But overall, I actually had a shit ton of fun with this team, and it was a good time. We're also really good at cracking bases, just not holding them. So
And so,
I was yelling at my own boss. It did feel kind of wild. It felt wild to come out of a game and be like, Ben, what are you doing?
Oh man,
that's crazy. I didn't think about it like that. That's so funny. Lilbo, so you're saying you were captaining, but did Method take it back over from? I mean, that's what it seemed to be in the end.
Yeah. So it was the first 4 games of round robin. It was Method captaining, and then it was me captaining for the most of it, and then the end of day 2 or the end of the well late of day 1, I was just it was the start of the final day. I was like, bro, I can't do this anymore. I'm going crazy. And then Method was like, cool, I'll take it back.
Yeah. Can you speak a little bit about the strategy that you guys employed as well?
So we had a couple different ones. First, was just the standard 2-3. We played a lot of I would take Mez control and Method would go and try and bully a door, and then we'd blitz a door and then try and get a base. And then we also just did just try and blunt force a way through a door. I played with Plank out a lot as well. Then after I had my final crasher, I played last line, and it was Plank and Method out first, and then they really struggled for 2 games. And then our final strategy, we were we got one more game. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna use Lilbo as a battering ram to try and get us bases and just blitz our way through the first half of the game. If it works, we stick with it. If it doesn't work, we bum out, and we bum out. So we had we were just trying shit.
Yeah, it was a bit of a rough back half of the tournament for you guys then.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants to have their next minute?
I guess I can. We played.
You're on.
We played these guys quite a bit actually throughout the comp, through the rise and the fall of cooler Surge Pants. And yeah, definitely you've got sort of your attack is definitely there because you got Butzer and you, Lilbo, who are the weird freaky little gremlins that just dive through doors and just and definitely gave me a run for my money on the door. Yeah, and I was actually thinking about this. I was thinking about this earlier today, and it's just I know you and I have talked about sort of what happened with getting denied and stuff, and I was just I want to end this with a question, and it's just by day 2, do you think that you were playing sort of about the same as you were day 1? It's just that everybody else sort of locked in and figured you guys out, or was it that you guys just your mistakes sort of got exasperated over the competition? That's just something I was very curious about.
50-50. maybe like towards halfway through Cascade 1, I'm sure that people were like, oh, this is what they do. We just like counter that. But then like our mistakes were like the influential mistakes. They're not the little ones. Like they were pretty influential. We died when we shouldn't have. We like held bases for ages and then got denied on the first shot because like we'll keep people out for 3 shots and then die on the final one. Like it was pretty like those like detrimental mistakes that we made. Pardon me. So it was a bit of 50-50.
Amazing.
Okay. That answers my
Um,
question.
Shaz, you got your minute. You ready to rumble?
If my
Rumbling.
internet permits it.
Yeah. So there you go.
So we only played you guys twice, and we lost both times, but you know that's expected. I did a lot of reffing on the second day, and I watched you guys play quite a bit. And because I was just in the base, I was in red, and the way you guys held red in defense was just really solid. Like you had a whole situation sort of figured out, and I guess that's super reflected in your wins and losses. Like your lowest was 1 second. So yeah, I'd say from what I saw, it was definitely a strong defense, and then we got smashed when we were playing games against them. So yeah.
Amazing. I'll go as well. I think I'm pretty sure we versed you like 3 times. I think you beat us the first couple times. And then the only win we got over you was in our elimination game, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember much of the game, and I don't remember being attacked very much either. So I don't have any commentary to add in terms of like how the attacks were feeling against us, because I don't remember it. I know we played very defensive field pointing, so that probably deterred people from attacking us too much. But yeah, obviously, you guys had super high highs. You were like 3rd after round robin, and then we had the obviously you feel like you crashed out, but it was realistically a bit of a team-wide crash out. Like the yeah, there's 5 people on the team. Everyone plays their part. So it's unfortunate to go from those high highs and then to keep copping losses after that. It makes it feel like even worse because you knew how high you were before. But that's just the nature of the sport. We all have tournaments like that sometimes. So keep your heads up. You're all studs. Cool. MVPs. Go.
Me. When I was reffing a game in red, just this very specific moment, watching Plank last line in that base during this time, who's an absolute king, like god tier. Like he was just getting every single person. There was absolute minimal bases dropped. And I've literally been watching those games, trying to figure out what he's doing because I want to mimic that as much as possible because it was just so good. So yeah.
Yep. I'll shout out the Plank last line in red as well. I just remember. I remember the earlier times we played against you guys. Was when I was still attacking because I also relegated myself to last line at the back half of the tournament. And yeah, Plank was extremely difficult to shoot out of red. He was doing extremely well under there, so I'll give him a shout out too for that.
Me. Yeah, I guess I'll put Lilbo as my goat. Just because like you definitely like captaining is not really your role. On Catalyst, and like you guys played extremely well on that day, and like your captaining had something to do with that. So yeah, I'll definitely say that you are my goat. Yeah, just
Are you free February 14th, Hazmat, by chance?
I am.
Holy.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely my goat.
Amazing.
I think Brody did very well. I think that we put Brody through shit tons, and he probably changed around the most on our team. He was like door defending, and he was like last lining bases that he thought he sucked in, but he actually did pretty well, like in green. And I actually think like he beat himself up shit tons, but like I think Brody did really well. So I'm actually going to call Brody Dizzle my goat.
Amazing. Alrighty. Cooler Surge Pants. Down one from predictions. Big ups, big downs. Obviously, we're not going to see the same team for Prenats 3, but hopefully we see all of the players at the very least, because that would be cool and fun and nice. Moving on. 7th, we had Beans' boyfriends up 2 from predictions. I think for me, like the biggest surprise of the tournament, especially because we didn't win against this team a single time until the elimination game. So they were our kryptonite for a long time. But they had 3 wins out of red, 1 win out of green, struggled a bit on blue. But interestingly, not a lot of thirds, only the 2 thirds on green. So they're doing a good job of, obviously, at that critical moment in the game when you realize, okay, we're not winning, we have to do something, and they're able to at least secure a second and those precious extra 2 victory points. So that's pretty cool to see. I'm going to count that as my minute. Yeah, well, amazing. Who wants to go first?
I'll get my minute over and done with. Sorry, Diego.
Oh, Lilbo.
Because we literally versed this team once, and it was in round robin. I just checked. It feels like I saw them a ton, but it was probably just outside of the arena. And it kind of sucks because it doesn't really say much about their defense later on in the comp because it was the first time they were playing blue. But they definitely pushed out with 3 a lot in that game, and like their defense was kind of easy to get through. But that's not indicative of the rest of the comp. Obviously, blue they were pretty consistently okay at like getting that second. Yeah, but like these are all great guys. I can love hanging out with them, so it's good to see them. But yeah, I only played them once, so I can't really comment much.
Yeah, that's cool. Lilbo, you wanted to go next?
I know 3, maybe 4 of them are lurking in this chat, waiting for me to say this. This team beat my team. Are you guys happy? You guys have like paid me to say that. Yeah. Look, I actually I'm not even gonna lie. I expected less from this team. They actually blew my expectations a bit out of the water. Dart's always super consistent, like very good player. I don't even remember seeing Cameron Cool Beans. I probably saw him maybe once throughout the comp. Shifter's door is always a struggle to get through, and then Gaz and Finn are always like very, very strong attackers in themselves. Yeah, they beat us in that final game, gave us a run for our money, and they overall just played really well. Like considering like the cohesion differences that this team had, I think that they really pulled it together and came to a result that like they should 100% be proud of, because that was like sick from them. And this 5 seconds out of blue is insane to me. I don't know why. Just seeing 0-5-0 is wild, but that's all I gotta say.
That's cool. Yep. Shaz, you're up. Again, if you didn't verse this team much, that's okay, but say what you gotta say.
We versed them a couple times. I'm trying to remember this game, but there was a game with us, Storm, and them, or it was us, Catalyst, and them. And either way, it was them on first, then us on second, then it was Storm or Catalyst third. And it was just like a really unexpected gameplay. And I think that when I was playing them, it was not something that I expected from what I saw in previous competitions. I just think their attacking was really strong. I felt like when I refed, I saw their defense was quite strong as well. I saw a lot of really good calls getting made. Like they knew what was happening and they were reacting really well to that. So I'd say that is what I saw. I think it was really good. Catalyst, I've just been confirmed.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, it was interesting what you said before, Hazmat, about how they did a lot of blitzes, and I think a big part of why they had a lot of success with them is these are all, especially their offensive players, are all very quick players, and so when it was time to do a blitz, they executed it very quickly. And I guess when it was done, they reset very quickly as well. Like their defense was, I don't remember ever, like they did blitzes, but I don't ever remember attacking their base and being like, oh, there's only 2 here. So they were doing a good job of the whole, when they were doing blitzes and stuff. I remember Finn playing a lot on the Mez. And I guess, he was potentially looking out for opportunities. I'm not sure who was leading the game, but at the very least, Finn was in a position where he could easily join a blitz and execute it quickly and then reset. So, this team probably beat us 3 times before we even beat them on the last day. So, yeah, I don't know. Super cool to see. Up 2 from predictions, obviously. So having a mixed team like this, kind of having as much success as they did, is super cool to see. And obviously they had all the right pieces to make it happen. Finn saying I did. Apparently I'm just lying and he wasn't playing on the Mez. I remember seeing you on the Mez, bro. I was repping. I could be full of it, but whatever. Maybe I'm getting old and my memory's a bit shot. I was Dart on the Mez, that's right. Apologies. Anyway,
He doesn't know what he's talking about, guys.
I don't know what I'm talking about, guys. Yeah, I'm just getting the stream right now. Who's everyone's MVP?
Sorry. I'll go first. I'll give it to Cool Beans. Why not? He it's interesting seeing him grow sort of as like that the defensive player, especially from like Albury, especially like in a maze that is kind of different to those mazes as well. It's like the couple times I saw him, he was definitely putting 110, and that's really what you want in a player, especially when like the going gets tough. And yeah, I'm excited to see the next sort of phase of Cool Beans, maybe cooler beans, but
even cooler.
Yeah, frozen beans, but yeah. I'll put Cool Beans in there.
Cool. Who's next?
I will go. I think Gaz is crazy. I think actually Gaz is he so nonchalantly goes so crazy. Like he just will stand on the door and just kill me and just be like, bro, please, I'm like at my lowest right now and you're just doming me. No, Gaz is really good. I think his attack's really good. I think his defense is really good. Overall, I think he's a really good character. Just a really good player. And we don't like Dart. We do not.
Okay, it was random. I'm gonna say Shifter because the times we played them, if I went out, I could not win against them up on a door. It just was not happening. Could not do it. Their comms and it was just pretty epic on their part, and that is why I'm shouting them out.
Cool. I'm gonna go with Gaza as well. Dude's just a stud. Like you said, Lilbo, he's one of those players that it never looks like he's playing super hard, wipes sweat off brow, absolutely giving his all. It always looks like he's just kind of he's just playing like a public session. He's just cruising along, but meanwhile he's also just destroying you. So yeah, guy's an absolute stud, so I'll shout him out as well. Everyone say their MVP? Think so? Amazing. Cool. Well, yeah, congrats to Beans' boyfriends. I think, yeah, they were the big movers of the tournament from what I remember, at least going up from predictions. So that was cool to see. And yeah, I don't suspect we'll see them in this iteration at Prenats 3, but hope to see all of these players back. Boom. 6th place, Aftershock. Woo. Down 2 from predictions. Woo! Awesome. I realized the last few times I've forgotten to say the rosters of the team, so apologies, previous teams. I will continue doing it now. So we had Fuggan, Chutch, Mikey, Jesse, and yours truly, Holmes. What can I? Okay, a minute. Boom. So the first half of this tournament was we tried a lot of different strategies. We probably went through 4 different strategies before we settled on something we liked. In all of them, I was the more offensive, aggressive player, and I was just playing a very bad tournament. So defense was always going okay, but the offense was very lacking. Not even good field points, like 50% tag ratios from me. So that was pretty rotten. I'll give myself the slide because I did drive 24 hours in 2 days right before the tournament. So that's probably a big part of it. But once I relegated myself to last line, that was around about the same time we figured out what we wanted to do. It was a little bit more field point oriented because we found, whenever we were trying to make moves, we were the first one to do it and we would get absolutely put in the bin because of it. So we just started not doing that. We really pulled it back in the end. Kudos to Jesse for kind of filling my normal position, a position he's not really played much. I think he did an awesome job. That's all I have to say.
Oh, you went over your timer, buddy.
Yeah, 3 seconds. Whatever. All right, who's next?
I'll go. So Aftershock. I always. You can never count this team out. You've always got to respect this team. But I also just think it's my initial thing is that I think it's so funny, a high level team coming into this comp as a team that has not played in a Queensland arena, and then just seeing them do really silly stuff. I just watched you guys in training, play people on pillar on blue, just watching both ways. I'm what are these guys doing, bro? But obviously you guys have not played this arena. But for what you guys had done, and the stuff that's happened on the team, obviously Beefy really injured himself.
Hence the missing person in the picture.
Yeah, and all the kind of dynamic changes of the teams, I think you guys still did really well. I don't really have much else to say. It's always such consistent high level laser tag from all of these players, and just did really well. It's just a bit of an unfortunate finish, but yeah.
Amazing. I'll talk about the Beefy incident, a little story after everyone has their minute, just for a bit of fun. If you haven't seen the clip,
It's a lovely video.
Check out laser tag memes. You can see it there. All right, who's next?
I can. I have not. I don't think any of these players went to Prenats 1. No. I don't think.
No.
And that's the only main comp that I've been to. So I've never seen any of these players before. Didn't know what to expect. Got smashed and rubbed in the dirt 4 times. So, that's always fun.
Damn.
But yeah, I think my first impression is now to be very nervous when I see that we're in a game with them. So yeah, you guys were very impressive. Again, didn't even know you guys did the drive. Oh my god!
It was only Chuck and I did the drive. The rest flew. But yeah, obviously I moved to the Gold Coast, so I've timed my move up with the Prenats, and Chutch was generous enough to not make me do the drive by myself.
They took the easy way out. They took
it.
Yeah.
Also,
I don't recommend that drive to anyone. 2/3 of it is the most boring drive you'll ever do in your life. The last third, going through New South Wales, Queensland, and the hills and stuff and the rainforest, that was sick. But otherwise, it was just the flattest country you've ever seen, and you'd be happy if you saw a tree. It was grim. It was very grim.
Yeah.
Hazmat, you're up.
Okay. So seeing the Aftershock comeback is always good to see. Riptide has versed Aftershock a little bit. We are familiar with you guys, and man, I was kind of shitting myself in that elimination game. Because I was on backdoor of red, and I would see Mikey slowly creep up, and then I would see like other people like slowly coming up, and I'm like, oh no.
There
And
we
then it's
go.
like, there's 3 here, and I'm just like, oh, what do I do? And I'm like, Ugh, help, come home. And then like, you're gone, and I'm just like, I'm crashing out, man. I was losing it. And then you guys, unfortunately, you guys just dumped because I think you guys knew that you were out, and that just kind of sealed your fate because you kind of dumped to us, and it was. But the comeback was real, especially without Beefy. So yeah, big kudos to you guys.
Thanks. Yeah, that last game was really upsetting because the first half we were actually in a really strong lead. Like I think we'd had like the only 2 or 3 bases of the game. We had decent field point. We had okay field points, but then the game just kind of like ran away from us, and we weren't able to keep up. And then we got put in the bin. So, yeah. So the Beefy incident, for anyone that doesn't know, for one, if you want to see the footage, laser tag memes, you can see it there. But basically, what's happened? We're in the at a holiday house, has a pool, nice. There's tiled, slanted stairs down to the pool. Bit, how's it going? Beefy's gone to get some drinks. He's got his hands full like this. He's like going down the stairs, and there's like 4 stairs. He gets to the second one, and he literally heels above his head, bang, drinks go flying, and he just goes straight onto his back. I actually, from my perspective, because there was a pillar in the way, the only thing I saw was his head go smack off of the top stair. Luckily,
man.
Luckily, he took most of the force through his back, and he's able to like walk around and stuff now. It doesn't feel great, but yeah, that was a very, very like fever dream moment because we're all just chilling, we're drinking a bit of a buzz, woo, laser tag, and then all of a sudden, like, we think Beefy actually just died in front of us. Like, that moment of like, did we just watch our friend die? It was pretty crazy. Thank God he's okay. He should make a full recovery, but yeah, that's why there's a big empty spot in our team photo. Yeah. Have we got anything else to say? Nah, don't think so. All right, we're gonna all go around and say our MVPs. I'll go first. Mine. It's actually gonna be Chutch. I was gonna go Jesse because he kind of got put into a position he hadn't been training for and that he doesn't normally play. And I think he did a super good job. And I know he's got one of the best mindsets. So I know he's going to take every mistake he made through this tournament. He's going to improve a lot, and he's going to be training in the lead to Pre-Nuts 3. So I'm very excited to see what he does Pre-Nuts 3 because I think I'm going to continue to last line and give Jesse that space. But Chutch, I'm going to give her the big shout out. She's always a demon on the door. She has some of the best, if not, I'm biased, but I think the best comms ever that I've ever seen. And I've played like Worlds, US Nats, I played in Europe. I think she has the best comms ever. Super clear, always at the right time, never misses. So she was good for that, and she's known for that. But generally what she struggles with is that attacking confidence, especially at the start of a tournament, especially at a pre-nats when she doesn't have that time to really grow into it. This pre-nats, she was just like, nah, and kind of put her like main character energy on. And then every time like we did a blitz and she was a part of it, she would just get it. And she was doing extremely well on attack. So I'll give kudos to her for that because that's typically something that she has the skills to do, but doesn't have the confidence to do consistently. And she just like did it consistently this whole tournament. So big shout out to Chutch. Also shout out to her for doing the drive with me. So I didn't have to do 24 hours in 2 days of driving by myself. That was very nice. Thank you. Who's next?
Nice. Me.
Lilbo.
I think Jesse is the next big thing to come out of Adelaide. Like, I think he's like, again, kind of like what I said with Pandas. He like Loki can just do it all, and he's like seeing him because he started in the same year that I did in Bendigo. Like, just like seeing him improve every single year, he's just going crazy. I think he's like, give him a couple of years, and he's going to be like one of the next top dogs.
Yeah, I agree. I've been saying it for years, but I think he's not been in the spotlight yet. I think now I'm hoping with me playing last line and him being in that opening role, that more offensive role, more people are going to see what Jesse's capable of. So yeah, watch out. Guy's a stud. Who's next?
I guess, man, I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna keep it going. Jesse is definitely my goat. Especially seeing him so I think I refed a couple of your guys' games on day one where he was in last line, and he was holding it where I was like, huh? And then it was just like, it was kind of working, and I was just like, oh, okay. And I was just like, go off, King, you can do it. And then him coming out on attack, and like having to burst him on the door was pretty nuts as well. So yeah, definitely he's someone to watch out for. And that's it.
Shaz.
I did not know anyone's names, so I didn't really keep on. Sorry.
No,
So
that's
yeah,
cool.
I don't have an MVP. I was too busy just trying to not get absolutely binned.
Survive. The objective
Yeah.
is survive.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. Well, yeah, this is the same roster we'll have for Prenats 3 and for Nationals. We're praying that Beefy will be in shape to play Prenats 3. That's a little bit of a stretch goal, but he'll definitely be with us for Nationals. So it's kind of just his back pending. Yeah, we'll do better next time. Woo. Right, moving on. Fifth place, we have Meme Page. So we had Sad Lamp, Spider, Bonfire, Zam, and Grouchy. So again, interestingly, a team that had more wins out of green than of red, which is kind of cool. I saw some pretty crazy stuff on the cameras from when they were playing green, but we can talk about that later. Up on for predictions. Who wants to go first?
Is this team like really weird to anyone else, or is it just me? Like, just the way that this team like played, and like the players, like the conglomerate of players on this team, it was so odd. I don't know. And we only played them twice or maybe 3 times. The first game literally didn't do anything. They could have I walked past them and it's a bunch of weeping angels. Like they would move every time that I looked away, but then every time I looked back, they would sit still. But then in other games, they're just like actually dominating everything in the lobby, like just taking them to Pound Town. I don't know. Yeah, look, I don't have super heaps to say about this team except that they're all like really consistently very good players, and there's a world champion on that team as well.
It's that guy.
It's that guy, and yeah, I think just like for what they were, they did really well, and once they started figuring it out, they did even better.
Cool. Who's to go next?
I'll throw my hat in the ring. Yeah, this team was just very consistent. We didn't verse them for the first half just because like their Cascade one was super weird. But we did verse them sort of Ascensions, and man, in that first Ascensions game with them and Rattlist, they kind of kicked our teeth in because they had our number from the very start, and it was hard for me to watch. But man, like Crouchy was going nuts. Sad Lamp had a really good comp. Like he was kicking my ass when we came to attack, and then Bonfire was super cool under the base. Like they were just all very consistent, all very good players throughout the entire through all the times I saw them. They were going pretty crazy. So that was about it. Yeah.
Amazing. And Shaz, you're up.
When we played
Bro,
against them,
give me a sec.
There's damn dogs.
The dog. From what I watched, because I managed to get a couple of games watching them while I was reffing, and then games we played against them, their push and pulls were insanely good. Like they just would wipe us out, and then they'd just come back and be like, okay, let's go try and take a base off them, and it's not going to happen. Like, so we, so yeah, it was just their attacking was really good in the defense, and especially that in between bit where they were like, okay, we're going to do this really quickly and then come back. That was really, really smart. When I was watching Zam, he was making some really good calls, so I think that was pretty good.
Cool. I'll go as well. And I think, yeah, people said anti-meta. Cyrix said anti-meta in the chat. I think that is just like any team that Spider is on. They're always doing something a little bit different to what everyone else is doing. And they are able to make it work. I think some things that stood out to me, just some highlights I remember seeing was, Bonfire was their main last line. And he typically, in the past, has been a very offensive player, a float player. But he's actually an absolute demon in last line. He's one of the most difficult people to get out of a base when in like training in Adelaide. So it was cool to see him keeping that up here. But I distinctly remember they were defending green, Bonfire's in the 7 watching front, and then Sadlamp and Spider are both on that box panel on either side of it, both watching backdoor. And it was just like, that is crazy. Like I would never think to even try to fit 2 people on that thing.
What?
And
like under on that panel.
Yeah,
both watching backdoor.
That one panel
What
that had the
the hell,
base,
man?
there were like Spider was on the, I guess if you look
What?
at the back, the left side of it. So he's not really on it. He's kind of like only.
He's his own panel.
He's basically his own panel. It's just there to cover his own back sensor. That's all it's there for. And then
Yeah,
Sadlamp was like
That's
using
wild.
it kind of normally.
That's
And
crazy.
I mean,
What
yeah,
the
good luck getting through backdoor.
We got it covered.
I think the only situation I could see that being why you would choose to put 3 people on the base is they must have been dumped on, or at least a very heavy attack. But yeah, it was just super funny to see. I remember I just like looked at the camera, I had to double take. I was like, is that 3 people under that's 2 people on the bot? That's crazy.
Oh
So,
man.
yeah, I'll just shout that out. That was really funny and really cool. Okay. We've all gone. So who is everyone's MVP or Goata?
Okay. I'm gonna give it to Crouchy. I don't know where he was playing, but like he was getting so many. His tag ratio sort of in those Ascensions game was nuts. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know
I'm
where.
pretty
he's
sure I
standing.
remember
think it was
seeing him on the Mez a lot
On
of
the
the time.
ramp.
on Mez.
Yeah, he
But
played the Mez.
bro was going nuts. Like, and I like when we got sort of our kid, like we got sort of shat on. I was like, guys, what was Crouchy doing? Like, he was getting so many pack points, and everyone's like, so, yeah, I'm definitely gonna give it to Crouchy.
Mm-hmm. Anyone?
Cool. I'm gonna say
Nice.
Zam. I'll take over. I'm gonna say Zam. Just watching him do his thing, World Champion, was super interesting. Watching the plays that he would make and coming back from attack to defense and making decisions based on that. I thought that was just super cool for me to watch that when I was reffing. So yeah.
Cool. Lilbo.
Again, in the 2 games that I played them, Weeping Angels. So I don't really have anyone. It's just like statues, and then they would come out, and I would watch their games, and then they would be dropping 60s. Like, bro, go crazy, I guess. You can never count out Zam though. He is the demon. Everybody on this team is a demon, but I've got no one in particular.
Mm-hmm. I think I will shout out Bonfire, Adelaide native, so I'm biased. But yeah, he's just he's an absolute like auto turret when he's last lining, especially on 2 shots a second. He's very, very difficult to deal with. Very quick reaction times, very responsive. Just it's hard to catch this guy out. Basically, he could even have even if he has no comms, he's so quick at just like switching which door he's looking at.
Yeah.
He can have no comms and he's difficult to deal with. So yeah, I'll give him a shout out for that as well. All right, moving on. 4th place, Rattlist down 3 from predictions.
Oh no!
So yeah, green and red pretty much even. Struggled a little bit on blue, like pretty much every team did. Who wants
What
to?
the hell are there Remy's on the photo? I just realized that. All on the little shoulders on the front of them. Is that you?
No, that wasn't me. I only just noticed that. I'm guessing that was
Wait, what is
that was Ravens doing.
The friggin' rats.
I'm guessing that was Ravens doing. That's what I pulled from Facebook. So
Yeah, what the hell?
The rats were there in real life.
okay. Apparently there's ads. We'll give it a sec.
Ew.
No.
Let's
Also-
pretend we're talking about something really important.
Yeah, I didn't say, but photo credit for all of these photos go to Laser Zone Sunshine Coast. With their cool little box setup that they had. That was pretty nifty.
The blinding box.
Yeah, get flashbang.
The
That was pretty
flashbang.
cool.
The flashbang machine.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Waiting for the ads to finish, so we will just get started right now. Who wants to go first with their minute?
Oh, man. I gotta structure my minute.
Shaz goes first. I need to think about this.
Crazy.
Shaz, we nominate you for this
What?
for this minute.
You're up, Shaz. Time's on.
I don't know, man. They did their thing until they weren't doing their thing. I think it was just one. Yeah, because again, we beat them in one of our games. We just managed to crack their defense quite a bit, and then I think they just lost a bit of their mental game. I think.
Yeah.
It was a lot of just in their head needing to go, oh, we need to do this to get into this and that. And I think they might have gotten a little bit overwhelmed by that sort of thing.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what I'm going to say. I think Sunday just really put them through the ringer a bit.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I'll go with my minute as well. So I happened to ref a lot of the games on the last day, and yeah, I think the mental was very off. Like, obviously these are all super dominant players, you know, some of the most decorated players ever. But the way they were playing was like they were not the best players in terms of, yeah, it was just the heads were very low. Like every duel they take, they're like, like I could see them like they were getting mad at each other. Yeah. It didn't seem like they wanted to be there by the last day, which I totally understand. I've been there. But yeah, there was lots of like bickering and stuff on attack. It was a lot of disjointed attack, like not really coordinating players and stuff, just like one person on one door, one on the other, both dying at different times, never coordinating. That's a lot of what I saw when I was reffing. And yeah, you can be the best players in the world, but if you can't coordinate, like, yeah, it's not going to get you through, right? Get your 4th place, I guess. But I know that all too well.
Yeah.
I'm a 4th place king myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who wants to go first?
I'll keep going. I'll keep it going. I'll let Lilbo have the final say here for his teammates. Yeah, I think these guys, especially like we played them a bunch. When stuff was happening in the arena, like nothing was happening. Like they did not react to, they did not make plays or anything. They just kept like soldiering forward with the plan that they were going. And like, I just think they were really struggling to pick a direction on how they were going to lead attacks. Yeah, like the mental outside of the arena and inside, just, it was no good. And I think when you're going into a game, especially with bad mental, and it doesn't help. You just can't get anything done, especially if you're in a bad mood going into games as well. Yeah, and it's just kind of like disappointing to see where these guys ended up.
Yeah, I think before you go, Lilbo, Sarex was saying in chat that she thinks they were trying to not play into the meta to see if they could, which led to a lot of frustration. Does that sound true for any of you guys as well? Do you reckon that's a sound analysis?
Sorta. We've kinda had that ish over the past couple years. I will not lie. The meta has been shifting away from the 2-3, and as good as we are at the 2-3, sometimes it just doesn't call for it, and sometimes we get a bit stuck. Currently, I think we've got a lot of chefs in a kitchen, and there's a decent amount of internal conflict with the chefs in question, and I think the mental was just gone. So I was not on this team, but I wasn't on this team for this pre-nuts anyway. But when I went and spoke to them, it was there was no crisis meetings or anything. It was just like very mellow, very flat, just like, bro. It's like I don't even know what to say. Like, I think we definitely know what we need to work out to get beyond this, but this is like a very big turning point for what we need as a team, and I think enjoyment is a massive thing to do with that.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Yeah, I already said my bit, but yeah, I think I can speak from our experience as well as Aftershock. Whenever we've tried to do standard stuff, it feels like we get punished super hard for it, like in like what today's meta is kind of shaping up, where it is very field point focused, and if you are the first players to start attacking, you're the ones that get shot in the back, and then you're the one that has your base blitzed by the other team. That's just kind of how the meta has been the last few years at the top end. And yeah, as much as I love 3 in 2 out as much as the next person, but I know for us as well, it has just like not been working, or at least you need to be very precise in the time you choose to transition into a 3-2. You can't just do it whenever, and you can't just do it for a whole game. Like it doesn't seem to work anymore. But I'm sure you guys are all super smart players, super experienced. I'm sure hopefully this is a big kick in the teeth. Comeback pre-nuts 3, and we'll see a pretty different Catalyst coming back, I believe.
I love this is low grade yapping in the chat. Like, what was expected of us to say is that you are a mopey motherfucker, and we need to sort our shit out, maybe, perchance. Because I think it plays a big part in it. At least 20 to 30%.
Dang.
Wax, do you want to join the video chat and talk shit about your own team for a minute? I'll give you 1 minute. You can if you want.
Also, I wasn't there, so like, funny that. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I think it's because I did Husky and Nintendo Switch golf on Sunday morning.
That did happen.
I accidentally messed with his rep. Or no, not his rep, his mental.
His rep.
Alright. Wax hasn't said he wants to join the chat, so we will... My mic is broken. Yeah, sure thing about that.
Yeah.
Sure thing.
That's what they all say.
All right.
Sure,
well, who was everyone's MVP? I'll go first. Mine's Jimmy. Love Jimmy, in and out of the arena. The guy's just an absolute stud. Super cool to hang out with. And he's a raid boss in the arena. Like, super dominant on a door. He's got a very I say aggressive presence in the arena. I don't mean he's like shouting and stuff, but just like his size, the way he uses his body, it's very imposing. A very difficult person to come up against. And yeah, his comms were super solid as well, which just enables Husky, one of the last line goats, if not the goat. Yeah. And then on the other door you have Wham. So, good luck. But Jimmy is my shout out for MVP.
I'm gonna say no one.
Whoa, that's crazy.
I think that,
They don't deserve it.
like, of all the people, Jimmy probably stayed the most consistent, but everyone was in over their own head for a different reason, and that kind of drew the downfall of the 4th place goat team for this pre-nats.
Shaz or Hazmat?
I think from when I just an entirely mental idea, because that seems to be the main focus of this. Husky, whenever I talked to him, was just trying to keep his head up, was super lovely, super sweet. Like when I was asking for tips or help, or I was, bothering him to be in my vlog or whatever, he just took it like a champ, that sort of thing. So I just think, yeah.
No, totally fair.
I'll keep it up with Jimmy. Jimmy's great to be around. And yeah, he was just consistently trying to keep everybody in good spirits. And on a door, he's a friggin' beast. So yeah, I'll keep it up with Jimmy. And I won't continue gapping, because basically this is reiterating a lot of what other people have said.
Cool. We've got nothing else to say. 4th, Rattlers down 3 from predictions. I'm sure they'll be back. I'm guessing for Pre-Nuts 3, it'll be you, Lilbo, in place of Jimmy. Is that correct?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, cool.
We'll bring it back.
Be playing Pre-Nuts 3 at all?
Nah, he's not. There's not even sure if he's going to be in Queensland, so he might be in Canberra.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
There is a chance, though. There's a chance.
Cool. Oh, the thing happened again, everyone. The thing happened again. Just you and me. I guess it was bound to happen one more time before we get into our top 3. So I'm gonna switch over to the other screen for a minute. Oh no,
it was so nice. Are we on?
Welcome back.
We're on. I don't know what happened from your perspective, but for me, all 3 of you dropped out and then came back.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it was so ass.
Hey, check the stream. Check the VOD. You'll see I'm still there and you guys are gone, probably. All right. Anyway, moving on. Into our top 3. Third, we had
the best photo.
Up 2 from predictions. You guys were doing extremely well out of red, bit 50-50 on green, and a lot of people struggled a bit on blue. Hazmat, what have you got to say?
Okay, minute. All right. I was really impressed with how he played over the weekend. The vibes were immaculate for the entire weekend. Even when we were copping thirds, it was just oh man. We would have a little cry, a little 1-minute cry, and then we're back on in problem solving mode. So yeah, I was really impressed with how everybody played on the team, especially with me coming outside of the base, not last lining, Volley stepping up there and being our last line with Noodle. Yeah, they've just because I'm tall, I can't crouch, so I can't play these bases. I'm just really happy with how he played. We were mostly playing a 2-man out with 3-man pushes intermittently. And that was it. I will say though, I've probably gone over time. I will say though, our biggest flaw was definitely our pack game, and we have discussed that outside of the arena. And we're definitely going to be working for that. We're very base reliant, and yeah, that was sort of our downfall in the end.
I think that's it's a classic balanced struggle. I know Aftershock's gone through it through the years where we'll like 1 year will be like we're up on pack like every single game, but we're like down on bases. And then we like flip the script and it's like, okay, we're up on bases every game, but we're so down on pack that we're still losing games.
Yeah.
Very difficult to do both, but you know, I'm sure you guys have talked about a lot and you kind of know what changes you need to make.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next?
I can. I'd just say because we train with these guys a lot, it was just a completely different experience playing against these guys. These guys just smashed it out of the park every game, went in just with an insanely good mental, and then would come out like even better. Like they were just doing really well in basically every aspect. And doing that really well just made it all go up really higher, and then they came third. So really, really happy for them, because seeing that like almost like just that increase in everything, it was just really cool to see. So yeah.
Amazing. And Lilbo, you're up.
I think the growth and the training of this team has definitely paid off, and this is definitely a result that should be expected of them for all the hard work that they've been putting in over the past year, over the past like couple months. They're all up at Sunny Coast, like 50 to 75% of them are all up at Sunny Coast each Monday. They look. I really don't have much else to say except that they did way more exceptional than anyone then I don't really know how to word it. They did better than what people expected of them, but it was deserved for them to do better because of how much training and shit that they put in.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone on this team is very consistent. They, again, just like all the high level teams, they all have there's some of their flaws, but they're slowly working them out. And I think with time, this is a team that could low-key final at Sunny Coast Nats, but
amazing. Yeah, I'll go next. Obviously, because we were quite down on the ladder for a lot of the tournament. I only really remember that last game we played against you guys. In Ascensions, we were blue. I think you guys were red, and yeah, I kind of alluded to it before. We started off with a strong base lead, but our pack was pretty poopy. Classic. And yeah, it just got to. I'm not quite sure what happened in the game because I was last lining, but there was a lot of bases that went down that weren't us after that, and we were put in a position where it's like shit. We're actually like really behind, and so we ended up pulling the pin, dumping, and yeah, we came out and we saw that you guys were actually up on pack on us for like almost the whole game. So you were speaking about a pack problem, but obviously that game that was not a problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. We've versed you a lot as well in Albury. You guys had our number there. I don't think we beat you once in Albury. So you've become our kryptonite in a way. But I'm looking forward to seeing a continued clash of Aftershock against this team. Hopefully next time we'll be able to verse you a couple more times than we did this tournament. But no, very cool to see. And yeah, like Lilbo said, maybe unexpected, but you know, if you put in the hours and put in the work in, this is the fruits of the labor, right? So, congrats to you guys for making the finals. Who is everyone's MVP? Hazmat, I make you go first.
No, please don't. This is so hard. Okay. I'm gonna rule out Pug and Noodle. No good. I think. I'm gonna have two goats. I have to. I can't. It's even. I'm gonna give it to Carton. The dude who was always on the other door with me. He was like, and he was just consistent. He was on the ramp. He was consistently getting like good pack, keeping the vibes up, and just. I've always praised his comms. He's awesome. I love playing with Carton. And I'm gonna Big Red big freak. Bread. I love playing with Bread. And like at the start, we were struggling with a bit of comms, but by the end, man, he was on fire. He was like final series. Bread was like, he was going crazy. He sat a lot of games just because he was like, guys, I don't want to mess with a good thing. You guys are doing crazy. Just keep it going. So I really appreciate. Yeah, dude. Like he's my number 2. But everybody else on that team is great, except for me. I'm pretty mediocre.
This guy sucks.
Ew.
Cool.
I would like to say, I think.
Gade, I always had it appreciated, Cotton. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I think this is Noodle's first time playing with your team, like in a comp. Yeah.
Yes.
I think that he did fantastic, coming in to a team that is already formed and already played with each other for a year or however many. So I think that he did really well, and he just fit, like it was a perfect piece of the puzzle that just made everything work really well. And I think that he did fantastic to mesh really well with you guys.
Amazing. Lilbo?
I would like to say that Carlton has made himself to be one of those players who is like not the big old funky flashy guy at the front of the pack leading the bases and getting all the shit tons, but that very consistent gets his one or more door defender that low-key carries the defense. I'm going to say Carlton.
Yeah, I'm going to match the Carton call as well. This guy has consistently been my kryptonite. Especially I remember like Albury Nationals. Pretty sure when we look at the Nemesis system, he was the guy that shot me the most of the tournament and had the domination streak on me at a tournament, which I think was like 11. So, yeah, Carton. I'm a little biased because this guy just has my number, but yeah, I think that door defender that doesn't get as much praise as everyone else, but is like low-key the linchpin of the whole team. It's a hard job, and it's sometimes a thankless job, but yeah, he's a stud. So we'll go with that. That's everyone. Amazing. We got 2 teams left, everyone, and then we'll wrap it up. Hopefully, we don't have any more cutouts before the end of the stream. Touch wood.
Bro, we've been going so well. Why did you say it?
Yeah, you just jinxed it, my guy.
I touch wood. Not wood. We're good. We'll be fine. Amazing. Freak Tide up 2 from predictions. Amazing job, guys. So what happens for Sprint 3. Boom. Second place, equal predictions. We had Storm. So they had the same record on red and blue with 3 wins, 1 second, 1 loss, and green, no losses, 2 wins, 3 thirds. Not bad. Pretty good. Again, I forgot to go through the bloody rosters, but I'm going to do it now because I've remembered. But we have Peregrine, Cyrex, Firebird, Shock, Moss, and Bones. So, who would like to talk about Storm first?
Hazmat.
Yeah, Hazmat. Yeah, Hazmat.
Okay. I love versing Storm, just because like they know how to play a game of laser tag and make it a good time. Especially in that final series, like playing a game with them, like playing against them is just like, yeah, it's just you know you're gonna have a good game. You know, like something crazy might happen, but like it will be good and everyone will have a good time. They were consistently they were just pretty consistent the entire comp. Yeah, I just like playing against these guys. They're really good to have a good game with. That's
amazing. That was good. That was good.
Hi, man. I see you yapping. I see you doing this. Shh. Quiet.
All right, who's next?
I can go.
Amazing.
I think that they did like extremely well. Even just being with predictions, I still think that they absolutely like it. They still did. I don't know how to say extra well, but it's like they were with predictions, but they were doing. I don't know. I don't know the word, but I'm just saying that they did really well. I'd say that they like just everything they do is so. It's like you see a proper team that all is sharing almost the same mindset and brain power, and it's like they just all know what's going on, and it's super connected, and it's just really good.
Amazing. Yeah, I think just to add on to that, I think they're one of, if not the most like structured, well thought out teams.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It feels they never go into they never go into a game where it feels like they were underprepared. They think about laser tag a lot. They talk about laser tag a lot. And yeah, it pays off, and obviously it paid off this tournament as well. They're a really strong tournament from them. Storm has consistently been the team that has been like neck and neck with Aftershock probably since Bendigo Nationals. They've gotten the last few tournaments on us, but so that's been really cool to see. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're all just they know their role. They play it super well. Yeah, it feels like they're a difficult team to catch out. Doesn't feel like they make a lot of mistakes, or at least not like big ones. They probably could tell you a million that they've made, that they've identified. They could tell you a bunch, but playing them, it feels like it's very hard to catch them making a mistake. So yeah, well done, Storm. Lilbo, I think you're the only one left. You got your minute.
Lukewarm take. I think that this team deserved to win. I think that they, as soon as I got to see them get into grand finals with Riptide and Spartans, I was like, Storm should 100% be definitely winning this. I think that they deserve it the most. I think this team is extremely structured. This is probably the team that I have played the most ever in nationals, and in terms of like at home, like you can never go wrong by this team at all. They are all so solid, and I think the transition role from like more of a Firebird running into more of a Shock running over Worlds and over this comp and over like a bit of Aubrey, and like Shock's done amazing. He's been going so well. Their defense is like one of the hardest defense to get through in my head. It's like fucking this team is great. Like they are very good. Yeah, I don't have much else to say except that these guys know what they're doing and they do it so well. It's a bit unfortunate that they did not get first, and if like there was just that one extra base, they would have gotten it. But I digress. That's laser tag, and that happens. Yeah, kudos. This team is great. They are fantastic.
Yeah, if I could add to that really quickly, I think because Spartans was predicted third, and then it was Storm, and then it was Catalyst, I do agree with Lilbo on that. Since Catalyst didn't make it into finals, I was absolutely. I obviously it was fantastic that Spartans won, but I was looking at Storm going, they'll take this easy. Like this is they're goated. They're goated. They're like that sort of thing. So I was
Yeah, shared that sentiment of Storm being the team that kind of probably should have taken that thing. And I mean, from remembering that the grand final series, like after game 2, they were very much in a position where they probably could or should have won. They've already said in the chat themselves that they made some big mistakes, some big whoopsies. But yeah, make a big whoopsie in the finals, and that'll cost you, right? I guess, especially against these top teams. So, have we all said our bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Brock, we'll talk about the Spartans soon. We'll give them we're talking about Storm right now. We'll give them their kudos in a sec.
Calm down.
All right. So, who was everyone's MVP?
I will go first.
Mhm.
I think that Shock is one of the best players in Australia right now. I think he is like where he's at for the like where he started and the sheer raw firepower that that person has and the game sense that he's starting to develop. I would call him my MVP. I think he's extremely good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Who's next?
There's ads, by the way, FYI.
Ads.
Hold on.
No. Ad break.
Don't be rash. I'm getting an ad right now, guys.
How long is the ads? How long are the ads?
It's like 5 seconds.
Oh, okay. It's so chill.
We're paused. Pause for ads.
No.
Pause. Where's
Okay,
the ads?
are we back? Are ads over?
Let's go. Let's go.
Someone's back.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to. Sorry, I'm just like going. I'm gonna give it to Peregrine. Just because Peregrine, Birdman. Just because like everybody else on this team has, it's sort of like the noodle effect, where it's like, but more. Like this team has been like this five for ages, for really long. They've had such a long time to get that synergy and that teamwork together. And Peregrine's sort of hopped on and he's just sort of like slotted in there, like nice and perfect. And I know that like everybody's good mates and he's got that that mindset that just sort of meshes really well with Storm and their general play style. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Peregrine, my goat.
Amazing. Has everyone else picked one?
No.
Me?
Yep, Shaz, you're up.
I'd say my MVP will go to Moss because he's just been doing absolutely fantastic. Like, he can just execute whatever needs to happen at that exact time. And he's just a reaction of how he plays and just everything combined. I see it like he's a fantastic player, a fantastic last line. Love watching him play. And he also helped our team a lot during the competition. He was giving us loads of tips and loads of help, which was just super kind and it was super refreshing and lovely to see. So,
yeah. Amazing, and I'll pick Moss as well. Again, I'm biased, but Moss has been another player that's been my kryptonite. I can't win a single duel against this man. If I'm last lining, he just lunges me for free. And if he's last lining, I need like help. So yeah, I'm gonna pick Moss purely because he just is my sleep paralysis demon. It's Moss. Amazing. Cool. Well, that's it for Storm, even with predictions. So congrats to Storm. I'm sure they'll be back pre-Nets 3. They've made a lot of changes, identified all the mistakes, and yeah, we're only going to see a stronger, scarier Storm at pre-Nets 3, which is pretty terrifying. But moving on, our winners, we have our Spartans, up 2 from predictions. So, pardon me, undefeated out of blue, which is very interesting. Almost every team consistently, even if they've had good records on green and red, their blue records lacked a little bit. But they've obviously figured something out. 5 wins on blue. Green was pretty good, and then red was what you'd kind of expect from the first place team out of red. Who wants to go first?
Go first. I reckon this team was kind of underestimated going into pre-nats, going into the competition. And I think it's purely because like a lot of these people, other than like Taipan and Potato, have come back either from a really long hiatus or from a year break with Leg and Zeropa. And I reckon people just sort of like went, like, yeah, it's Queensland, but like, like how bad can it be? And I think going in with that attitude has sort of played to their strengths, not discounting their skill at all. Because man, these guys are freaking pack monsters. I've refed a couple of their games out of blue specifically, and like their defense was great. Like Potato was on Mez for like 8 minutes a game, and he's just like he'd like lazily walk home, and he'd go like, "Yeah, what's the count, guys?" And it's like 0, and he's like, "Oh, cool," and then he would just like run off. So like that's sort of my take on it. People can call me say I'm wrong, and I would kind of on there.
Amazing. Who wants to go next?
May I go next?
You may. Boom.
I will. So, despite what I said about Storm, I think that the fact that this team pulled a win is still very, very, very good for them. And the amount of maze experience, because they've definitely had the most maze time compared to any of the other Queensland players since Worlds, really shows. Like, they're having team meetings after every training. They're very, very, very good on the pack. They know where to stand. They know how to shoot. They can do very well, and they can really pull their own. And I won't have much else to say except for the fact that they did do very well, and there is some very sore shoulders on this team. I won't kind of elaborate on that, but I think that some shoulders could be a bit sorer than others.
Very, very vague and awesome. I like that. Shaz, you're up.
I'm gonna say the pretty similar things. I think that it was very underestimated. Like we all knew, oh, it's a Queensland team. They're coming back. They're forming together. We knew that they were really good, but then they really just shone throughout this tournament. And yeah, I'd say the way that they have their team meetings after every game and after every training session, and their team, I think, is there like every single week on our Monday trainings. And I think that consistent training just really showed here, and I think that they did absolutely fantastic.
Amazing. And
and they eat pack.
Oh, you go.
There you go.
They eat pack.
They eat pack. They eat pack, bro. They eat my pack.
Fair enough. So greedy. Save some for the rest of us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we only versed Spartans once. I had the opportunity to ref them quite a few times. And yeah, from what I could see, Fuzzy and Zeropa, when they were on the doors, yeah, they were just raid bosses to get past. So, yeah, what you were saying, Hazmat, before about Potato coming home, being like, what's the count? And like 0. Not surprising to me, just seeing they were very, very, very dominant on those doors. And then even once you get past them, you still have to deal with the last line and the door defender on the other side. It was, yeah. I'm not surprised at all that their defense was so strong. And if you have a really strong defense, people don't want to attack you. And if they do, you get your field points there. But if you don't get attacked, then your defense is free to spread out, and they can eat pack for a lot of the games. So that kind of, a lot of what people are saying kind of makes sense. That's my minute up, and I haven't got anything else to say anyway, because I'm pretty sure we only versed them once in the round robin, because we were too low. All right, who was everyone's MVP?
I will have to say Stalker. The way that he plays, the way that he handles himself, specifically the way that he plays and maneuvers and just everything like that. It's so fast, it's so reactive, and I really admire that, and I think it really showed at this competition. So yeah, I absolutely, Stalker is my go.
Bro, Stalker pulling almost 217 Ks is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
did anyone else even get close to that?
I don't think so. I think he got the 2 higher scores. Like if there was like a laser, like a base sump, he'd probably be the top 2.
Yeah.
Bro, like crazy.
Okay. Okay. My goat is my MVP is Potato. This little guy, this little guy. I can't shoot. I freaking hate bursting potato, and it's literally just because his pack is like this slightly below where my resting like phaser is, and he's just quick, and like I just shoot him in the forehead, and then by the time I'm like front door, he's got the base. I can't handle it. I can't handle this guy. And yeah. it's so infuriating. And even on defense, like I think I rocked up to their defense and Potato's just like, one up front, and then he'd just shoot me. And he'd just keep me down. And I'm just like, yeah, cool. I'm gonna go kill myself. All right.
Nah, rough gig. I think for me, I'm gonna pick two again. I'm gonna go Fuzzy and Zeropa for all the reasons that I said before.
Oh, yeah.
What? You made a funny noise. What's up? What's up, Lilbo?
Oh no, your camera like cut out for a second, then it came back.
Chilling. Amazing.
Yeah. I'm gonna say potato because I'm fully convinced that this guy can just go invisible and then like reappear in a base. Like any bro will do this, and he's behind them, and he's running into the base, and he's killing you with zero comms. The amount of times that I died through Butcher's door to potato was absolutely disgustingly criminal. And I would be like, he walked through your door, and he was like, no, he didn't. I'm like, yes, he did. He ran behind you. You were looking the other way. The guy is a demon. He is so quick. No, I really respect Potato. I think he's a great player, and I think he did really well.
Amazing. Well, there you have it, folks. That just about wraps it up. We'll stop sharing. So well done to Spartans. Up 2 from predictions. Now, before anyone looks at the time, if you already looked at the time, you smell. I want you to guess how long we've been streaming for. Have a guess, everyone.
I already know. I already looked at the time.
I've got my phone open, so I've got the time right in front of me.
Like 2 hours and. Well, I've got the time on my PC, so like
don't look.
Been like 2 hours and 50 minutes. So
you guys suck.
He got it.
Oh my god.
You guys suck. All right, whatever.
Sorry.
Amazing.
I didn't know that was part of the thing.
That's record LSA time, surely.
No, I think we've done a 3.5, 4 hour stream before. The review streams are very hard to get through quickly, admittedly.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to cook up a better method of doing it that doesn't take 30 years. But all right, everyone in the chat, if anyone was with us the whole time, thank you very much. You're absolute weapons. For everyone else that watched like intermittently, cheers. Thank you to Hazmat, Lilbo, and Shaz for joining me as my guest tonight.
Thank you.
Prenuts 3 is like in 2.5 weeks or something crazy like that. So
how crazy is that?
Yeah,
it's
it's 1st of March, man. It's crazy.
It's mental.
Literally a month apart.
So like, stay tuned. There'll be a predictions. I'll make sure to do a prediction stream this time. I didn't do one last time because I had pretty much packed up all of my stuff, getting ready to move.
Should have done it on the road, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, with my.
What's up, guys?
Look, I might have had better connection than I did tonight. Holy shit.
That's
but all right. Goodbye, chat. Goodbye, everyone.
See you.
Bye, guys.
Sweet dreams. Bye now.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Aww.
Slip.